Goddamn.
There it is. There it is, man. How is everybody doing here today on your Monday at 4:47 p.m. Central Time with Unscripted? This is weird.
This is real weird.
Yes, this is very, very weird. I told Sir K before we came on here, I feel like we're doing the Friday show because I can see outside of my window here sunlight.
Dude, it's so weird seeing sunlight, bro. It's so weird.
Yeah, very, very much so. Very much so. On a Monday, I am used to it being about 10:30 at night, and obviously it being pitch black outside. Here we are, and we're finally seeing some sunlight, man. So maybe some of you wrestling fans after Monday Night Raw can go get your source of vitamin D for the day. So regardless, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to NHP Unscripted, man. This is episode 239 of Unscripted, and thank you guys so very much for joining us here today on this version of Unscripted, and thank you guys so very much, as always, for joining us here today, post Monday Night Raw, for Unscripted, man. So if this is your first time watching, guys, do not know how the show works. Every Monday, we are on here after Monday Night Raw with NHP Unscripted, and every Friday, we are on here with the news. Now, I'll get right back to that in a second. But every Friday we are on here with the news, man. And with all that, if you guys did miss this past Friday's edition of the news, the reason AEW wasted Christian Cage's contract, WWE announces backlash for St. Louis, WWE interested in Jeff Cobb, a bunch of other great news stories, man. That is available for you guys on the news. That is available on all platforms for you guys. That is Spotify, Apple Podcast, and if you want to see it first, you can join us right here live every Friday for the news, man. So, with all that, if you guys have not got a chance to grab some of the most beautiful merch in all of the IWC, it is available on bonfire.com right now as we speak for you guys, man. You can get the next chapter design, the remastered next chapter design that you see on your very screen. Again, bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video. Also, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, he's smiling. No one knows what for except for him. But we want to know what's up, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just been
Tell us the
chilling.
truth.
Thrown off today by Raw. Most definitely thrown off by the time. Thrown off by, and we'll get to it, but thrown off by most of that episode itself. We'll get into that, but man. But overall, good day, man. I've been good. Just been chilling out, man. Just been chilling out, waiting. Big weekend's coming up. Dynasty, I guess you could say it's a big weekend usually for everything but the pay-per-view itself when it comes to an AEW weekend, man. But then after that, WrestleMania, and I'm excited, man. Very excited. Just waiting for things like that, man. But overall, I'm doing good. Like Deron Taylor's ask, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing watching the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I am doing good. Yes, massively thrown off by this Monday. Yeah, just weird, I guess. I guess is the only word you can really describe it with. Weird. Weird watching Monday Night Raw at 2 o'clock. Next week it'll be 3. I'm sure that won't make it any less weird. But yeah, well, sitting down at like 2 o'clock, like I said, watching Monday Night Raw was odd. Doing Unscripted now is odd.
So weird.
Seeing sunlight now is odd. About to talk about a whole episode of Dynamite with the sun still up is just everything is just odd. Very, very, very thrown off, man. Very thrown off for sure. But another thing that I hope does not throw you guys off too bad is WWE is doing all these time changes, man. Well, for WWE, It is for 3 weeks. With this being the first one, it's 3 weeks that we are being thrown off with the Raw time changes. However, ours will be permanent, at least until further notice.
Yep.
The Notorious Heels podcast, the Friday show, the news, whatever you guys want to call it. So we've been running into problems with it as of late. I don't know if it's because of WrestleMania season or maybe we just like hanging out with you guys that much. It's something.
Probably.
It's something, but whatever the case is, the show's gotten significantly longer. Okay, it's gotten to about 3 hours. Sometimes 3:15, 3:30. Too long to the point where we bleed into SmackDown. And I never like when we bleed into SmackDown just because, odds are if you're a wrestling fan, God bless you, but you're probably going to go drift off and watch SmackDown. Completely understandable. So for that reason, we are moving the Friday show. Not a drastic change, but we are...
No.
We are moving the Friday show, as you see it, from 4 p.m. Central to 3 p.m. Central. Now, this is every Friday. This is not just a this week thing. This is going to be every week from here on out, going forward. Instead of our normal time being 4 p.m., like I said, we're just moving it back 1 hour to 3 p.m., trying not to bleed into SmackDown and just trying to, just get on a little bit earlier, discuss some news with you guys, and so on and so forth, man. So we thank you guys for the support, man, and hope you guys can catch us at the new time at 3 p.m. Central, starting this Friday and going on forward every Friday. So always appreciate the love and hope you guys could always make it out. So
Hopefully you guys can. I'm very excited for just a little bit earlier start time, see how it works, you know, bleeding into SmackDown is always, kind of just frustrating to a point, so I'm glad we can move it to have more time before SmackDown to talk to you guys.
yeah, man. So with all of that, we have a interesting week to talk about
Very.
for you guys because we had AEW Dynamite, and this is their first step out from Revolution, which was a great show. Um, they put on an episode of Dynamite that it's the story of AEW, right? They have a killer pay-per-view and the weekly television sucks ass. So I mean that was
Yeah,
that was
it's
basically
AEW.
that was the MO for Dynamite. So we're back to regularly scheduled programming, which is not the best television. SmackDown had a couple interesting talking points, man. This episode of Monday Night Raw, other than maybe a couple things, man, to me really felt like, Sir K used the word before we got on here, carry job. This felt like a carry job from John Cena, Cody Rhodes, and the fans of Brussels, Belgium. Um,
Literally, dude.
so it definitely felt like a very heavily crowd carried show, obviously minus Cody and Cena. That was excellent. But yeah, very just questionable for sure. Questionable. Some of the things that I guess were decided upon putting on that show. But overall, yeah, it was a very middle of the road Monday Night Raw. So
Most definitely, dude. I really like the opening, and I like some other stuff in there.
for
I
sure.
like the Penta stuff. I like, the women's main event scene stuff. I thought that was really good. But like a lot of the pacing was really off, and there was just so much commercials, I feel, more than usual. So much commercials where I'm asking myself, why do you give America commercials when you can make the show better and just make, the flow of the show better by doing without commercials for the American audience? Because you're just stretching, and we'll get onto it when we get to Raw, but you're just stretching some shit out just because you need to get America commercials in there. I don't understand it, man. But I thought most of the show was pretty lackluster and kind of awkward for the most part, man. But overall, start was really fucking good. I cannot wait to get into that, man. But most of the show wasn't bad. It was just really, I don't know, pacing was real weird, and I thought most of the show was kind of awkward for some reason, man. But overall, it wasn't a bad night. Kind of just threw me off, and was kind of just sitting there watching commercials and promo packages half the time, if I'm being honest. But overall, wasn't a bad show, man. But interesting week this week, man. Like you said, Dynamite was just it's AEW. Like you said, pay-per-views are great. Weekly television sucks. It's kind of what I expect at this point, man. But Raw just really threw me off this week.
That's understandable. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, I mean there was tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw, to me, and again, there was there was some good things on the show I liked. I liked I liked the main event. I liked some of the backstage shit that they did with the Judgment Day. I thought was fantastic. The point, I guess, of Seth Rollins being there, I thought that was a little. You could have just had him pop up on SmackDown, I think,
Mhm.
or I think would have made that a little bit better and intense. Would be him coming out there fired up and looking for Roman/Punk, and then maybe you have an Adam Pearce come out there and as Seth's trying to wreak havoc or hold the show hostage, say, look, they're not here, but they'll be on Friday. I thought that would have been a little bit better. But there was there was uh yeah, just a couple questionable things. Like I said, we'll get to it
Mhm.
when we talk about it. For me, there was a couple questionable things, but I did really enjoy the main event, and I really enjoyed the Penta match. I thought that was very good as well. But regardless, as you guys know, we usually don't start the show with Monday Night Raw. We start the show with the highlight of the week.
Ah.
AEW Dynamite. Forgot to mention Logan, Gotti. How are you doing? Where is Belle, man?
Me?
We're on her time zone. This is
Yeah.
abysmal.
Yeah. You're on your time, and you're just not here. That's kind of crazy work. I can't lie.
This is crazy work. Where is Belle? So this
Where is our social media representative, man?
I don't know. I don't know. No call, no show, I guess.
Oh,
Um
goddamn. You wouldn't think it dinged in the phone.
it didn't, dude. It didn't even ding us, bro. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So regardless, this was your March 12th edition of Dynamite from Fresno, California. Uh see, I think Bell did. Uh Ajax. Hey brother. Ajax, man. Look, I'm sorry, bro. I'm very sorry to inform you, man, but thank you, Gotti. Thank you. Well, now that Gotti has already told you, I don't have to feel so bad. Raw is over, man. Raw was in Brussels, Belgium tonight. Raw ended at like 4:30. Um, so
It started at 2. Next week it starts at 3, and the week after that it starts at 2
you
again, man.
you
We've been posting the
you
graphic.
know what? You know what, Ajax?
Hit
I
the
got you,
graphic.
bro.
I think,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I think we're gonna have to pull Tony Khan. I think we're gonna have
Yeah,
to hit the graphic,
we're
man.
gonna have to hit the graphic, dude. Here's the
If you
graphic,
want,
Ajax.
if you need to save it, follow us on Twitter, Instagram. You could save it there.
This fucking guy Cirque, he's working his fucking ass off tonight. He's trying to finish his story. He's fucking working
I'm
his ass
trying to.
off. Look, he's smiling his ass off.
Look at it.
God damn, dude. Hit the graphic, promoting the Twitters. Holy shit. This fucking guy Cirque,
Shit.
man, he's putting in overtime today. Um, so look, man. He, thank you, Gotti. Thank you.
You did.
Belle
It's
has turned
true.
heel, so we should definitely all confront her if she does get here. So regardless, um, regardless, man, Dynamite from Fresno. Talk about pacing being bad. We'll get to that in just a
Oh,
minute. But dude, It's like somebody told Tony Khan, look, man, you got to put more video packages in the show. This man literally, after the first 2 segments, did video package, video package, video package, video package. And it was just like, dude,
Like,
who is putting? I know who's putting together the shows. It's Tony Khan, but
like,
what the fuck, like, dude.
like, I'm happy you're doing video packages.
Oh,
Do more.
100%.
Advertising. Do more just in between matches and stuff. I do like that, but damn, dude, you don't need fucking 30 of them back to back.
Like, bro, put them between
You
each
don't
one of your matches to let it breathe.
literally, man. I mean, that Dynamite flow was just off the charts, man.
Yeah, not a great flow. Well, Ajax, I'm sorry you were thrown off, man. I'm very
I'm
thrown
thrown
off for a Monday, but regardless, we played the graphic for you, man. So hopefully you took your screenshot. If you need me to put it up again, so you can take your screenshot, I'll put it up again. But hopefully you can take your screenshot so you don't miss the next 2.
Exactly.
So regardless,
Oh, Gotti, man. Everything about that show was so perfect. I can't
oh
wait.
my god.
Oh, I can't wait to get into that,
I
man. That
cannot,
whole thing is
dude.
so perfect, dude.
That
Come
was,
on.
man, Gotti, bro. That was tremendous. That was tremendous shit. I was so happy watching that because, like, man, I talked about it last Monday because we were hearing some of the chants, but seeing a crowd that hostile for John Cena,
It was just
what.
crazy.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid, bro, and and I've been telling you guys for the past couple weeks, man. We're seeing this whole John Cena farewell tour and stuff, man. It really puts me in unk status, bro. I feel like I have achieved unk status because this, man, just crazy. It's awesome to see. It's fucking awesome to see. Like I said, I haven't heard a John Cena crowd that hostile literally since I was a kid. No exaggeration, bro. So you love to see it.
Insane, dude. It would love to see it, dude.
Well, Kenny Omega
Oh,
started off
freaking Dynamite, dude. Damn it. The fuck, dude.
Oh, brother. Kenny Omega. Oh, man. Kenny Omega started off the show. He was thanking the fans. And he was thanking the fans for the support. He thanked Takeshita for challenging him to his limits, so he can hold a singles title once again. He says he wants to face the very best from every walk of life. He then promotes the International Championship Eliminator Tournament that's going to be going on, which we got a glimpse of in this show. And this was the start of the show, man. So pretty decent start, I guess. And yeah, it wasn't really too much, to be honest, other than him promoting this International Eliminator Tournament.
Yeah, that was very simple. It was, to be honest, classic current AEW Kenny Omega, where he's more excited to do what he's going to do outside of AEW than, be in AEW, which parts of him you can't blame him for, man. So overall, I like what Kenny did, and I like what they're setting up, and I'm excited to see what Kenny can do with it.
The Ops defeated Jobbers, local talent. I have
Another
no
squash match.
Yeah, I have no thoughts on this other than they were in a full-blown feud with the Patriarchy. They beat them on a random match on Dynamite. I guess that random match on Dynamite was the blow-off. Now they're in a squash match.
Another directionless, just floating around until something comes up. Gotta love it.
There you have it. Ricochet. Ricochet is in the back. He says his quest for gold is not over. He's going on to win the International Championship Tournament, and he's going on to beat Kenny Omega. But this Saturday on Collision, he is going, he tells Shibata to don't even bother showing up. And this is me sparing you the embarrassment.
Trust me, Ricochet, I don't bother to show up for Collision either.
Yeah, I didn't show up.
No,
I didn't show up, so.
Who does?
I spared the embarrassment of myself and subjecting myself to 2 hours of this.
Fuckery.
So,
Literally.
So that was that. Yeah, that was that. We go to another backstage segment with Swerve. This was filmed right after Revolution. So he's in the back of the Crypto.com arena. He says he made history last year at Dynasty, and that is the place he has in mind to challenge Jon Moxley for the championship. Lo and behold, Cope walks up to Swerve. He says he's holding his neck. He says he's not 100%. And I don't know if you sort of noticed it or not, but I didn't lose. Oh, we know. Trust me, Adam Copeland. We fucking knew as soon as that bell rang why Christian Cage was out there. Because you don't lose.
I knew when you pinned the demon, motherfucker. I've been knowing this shit for like, what's it been, like 4 years at this fucking point?
God damn.
Like, shit, I've been new, motherfucker.
So, he says, I don't know if you sort of noticed it or not, but I didn't lose. So, I can become champion before Dynasty. So, in kayfabe, did Adam Copeland know as soon as he walked through the fucking curtain that he was getting another world title shot next Wednesday?
Probably just assumed.
He
You know, it's
probably-
Adam
yeah,
Copeland. I'm
hey.
sure he's like, oh, I'll get another match. I'm Adam Copeland. Or I'm Cope.
So, he says if he's not champion before Dynasty, then if you win and beat Jon Moxley, you're definitely going to be looking at me. So, okay, so either way, so Swerve has no way around Hulk Hogan. I mean, Adam Copeland.
No.
He has no way around him. That's basically what you just told me. Either way, you're going to politic to get yourself a title shot.
Literally, he said, no matter what, you'll be facing me. So if you lose again and I win, somehow I have to face you again after being a loser 2 times over. Thanks, buddy.
Swerve says that's what I want. Copeland says, I know you do. And he fist bumps him and he wishes him good luck. Swerve, that's not what you want. You will lose that championship if that's what you want. So yeah, that was that as Adam Hogan makes his presence known to Swerve Strickland. And from the Hulk Hogan of AEW now to the OG Hulk Hogan of AEW, Jon Moxley then has a backstage segment. Another backstage segment. This is 3 in a row.
Braun Breaker was over there at that point.
It might.
He
he might as well have been, bro. He says Moxley's in the back. He says he's somewhat lucky, some would say he is somewhat lucky. But you got to appreciate the irony. He says, what did they used to call you, man? The world's greatest opportunist? John, that was not his nickname. His nickname was never the world's greatest opportunist. It was the ultimate opportunist. So
I don't think they trademarked ultimate. Like, okay, I think you could say that in a promo package, but I digress.
Well, he's the world's greatest opportunist, apparently. He says, what did they used to call you, man? The world's greatest opportunist or something? He says he scored the game-winning shot in front of 11,000 people. He says he underestimated Adam Copeland. He said he knew Copeland was hurt, but he kept coming forward. That is something I can admire. He says next week Copeland can take the rules. Copeland can take the rules, and he will take all of Copeland's excuses. He said it. He said, my dad always told me, measure twice, cut once. Next week against Adam Copeland, I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. So it looks like, well, at this point in the night, we found out that Copeland and Moxley are going to be next week. Again, so Tony Khan's philosophy here was we put on probably the worst main event in AEW history. So let's do it again.
Yeah, let's just run it back again. Let's run the worst thing about the pay-per-view back again, dude. Fuck yeah. Make it make no sense too. The whole build-up to the Mox and Cope match was Mox not wanting this match and for some reason being fearful of Adam Copeland, and now he just wants a match. I don't get it, dude. I don't get it.
Which, again, I mean, you can make the argument, sure, Adam Copeland was screwed out of the match, but I mean, he did kind of lose fair and square. Christian had a fair and square contract that he earned. So, again, I mean, I understand, technically, Copeland got, screwed because of the briefcase or whatever, but so does everybody else that fucking gets cashed in on.
Kind of the nature of that type of, item, whether, like you said, whether it's the briefcase or their contract, that's kind of the whole point.
Drew McIntyre got cashed in on last year against Damian Priest, had to go through one of Triple H's fatal four-way tournaments to get a title shot back.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, he lost. No matter how you lost.
Exactly. As much as he got screwed in a briefcase, or in this case, a contract scenario, it's fair and fucking square.
It would make sense to be like, oh, you screwed me if Christian ended up winning. Because, that's more about... But, dude, John Moxley just came in and won the thing again. You were going to lose anyway at that point then. Or okay.
Okay is right, I guess. So that was that. So we are our backstage promo marathon is over, and we go into Will Hobbs teaming with Hologram. Hologram's manager is Harley Cameron in a hologram mask.
You mean Harley Graham?
What the fuck is... What is... What?
Harley Graham. Yeah. Why? I don't know, but she's Harley Graham. I think she did that a couple months ago. She put on the hologram mask and was Harley Graham or something. I don't understand it. Yeah, it's just Tony Khan playing with his toys. That's when you pop the one piece, the one accessory on one, and you plop it on the other, and you're fucking around. That's what Tony Khan's doing. And took Cena's cloth shirt off him, put it on Finn Balor for some reason. He's having a ball.
I was gonna say he took a Rock figure and a Roman Reigns figure, swapped the heads, and made, I don't know, the OTC Final Boss figure. I
don't even know, dude.
What the fuck, dude? And to make this even worse, they're going against Brian Cage and... Who would your first guess be? Brian Cage and who?
Well, Brian Cage is in a tag team, so you would think it'd be his tag team partner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would think it would be his tag team partner, Lance Loser. No, it was Brian Cage and Drolistico.
Fucking my GM, bro.
This is what we're doing. This is what we're fucking doing.
Your weekly episode of television after an overall good ass pay-per-view, you put that on our screens. Homie.
all right. Well, Hollow Hobbs wins the match.
Oh,
So
Hobbs. I like that. Don't
that
let Tony Khan hear that.
yeah, I just wrote that in my notes. I was in the middle of typing hologram. I typed hollow, HOLO as just as short, and then I put Hobbs, and I was like, oh, I could put that together. So I put it in the middle, and I hit backspace, and voila, there it
Oh,
is,
Hobbs.
holla Hobbs. So that was that. We get a beautifully put together video package for the end, the culmination to the Hollywood ending. We get like a 3-minute video package of just recapping the Mariah May and Tony Storm feud. It was fucking great. I loved it. That was one of my favorite parts of the show. Was this 3-minute video package. But yeah, I thought it was good.
Oh, a very incredible video package, man. Truly.
Well, Tony Storm, um, yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Logan. I was never too big on.
Mm,
Harley is entertaining. Harley
she
is
is.
entertaining. When she steps in those ropes, man, she absolutely looks like a 4-year-old kid trying to wrestle their father. In between those ropes,
Yeah.
man. So and again, I'm not, I'm never one to say that everybody has to be Will Ospreay, but when you're that bad, it definitely shows. As a
Yeah.
character, I get that. As a character, I get that. She's very entertaining. But yeah, Tony Khan, as quickly as people started to like her, I don't know. I guess he just swept the rug out from under her. I guess I don't know.
I
So
told Tony Khan that man's brain is a mystery.
so Tony Storm is out there for a promo, and she says, "It is time for a new beginning." She says, "We have some titles in briefcases, we have forever champions, and we have belt collectors." As soon as she said that, I was like, oh no.
Mhm.
I was like, do not fucking tell me Mercedes is going to make her way and carry both of the women's championships in AEW. Thankfully, I get, well, I pick your
Well,
poison, I
he'll be
guess.
coming.
Um, she says, um, you will never catch her meowing because she is no pussy. She says, nobody swings like Tony Storm. So, ladies, put your keys in the bowl and let's get this orgy started. She says it will be messy and it will be sweaty, but it will always be timeless. This fucking guy's looking around. I think he knows a thing or two about this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Uh, so,
Yeah.
so,
Shit, bro.
so, so,
God,
any,
no.
so, anyways, man, before Sir K has the chance to tell us about his experience, why he's smiling about this line by Tony Storm. Let's not even get him started because he probably does have something to tell us about this, but we'll go past that.
No.
I think he does. I think
Not
he does.
me.
Please stop interrupting the
No.
programming, sir. But we already know about you. Please. We don't want you to tell us.
Mm, yeah.
See, his eyebrows are going up. Well, anyways, right before Sir K is about to tell us the story that we don't want to hear from his personal experience with putting his keys in the bowl and getting his orgy started, Tony Storm says it will always be timeless. She, does her little thing where she puts her hands up to her face, and she gets attacked by Megan Bain.
What a killer of a segment, dude. And just killed in that moment. Literally, in those old timey movies, it's perfect for Tony Storm, where the movie like gets fucked up and like the film messes up on the screen and start like melting the screen.
Mm-hmm.
That was Megan Bain coming in at the end of that segment, man. The production, dude, RJ City, Tony Storm, dude, they are
Oh,
incredible at
oh
this
my
shit, dude.
God.
the camera shot during that segment of her reflection in the fucking tunnel circles, dude. Insane camera work with that segment, dude. Loved what they did there. Tony Storm's always a great promo, obviously. Um, and then Megan Payne came in at the end and just showed up.
Dude, yeah, another thing I love about Tony's entrance is when they're dim. I love the way, and it's such a little thing, but it really goes a long way. The slow dim of her spotlight. The spotlight slowly dims, and then when the spotlights are out, you still get that like brown gold, light on the tunnel lights, the lights
Mm-hmm.
that outline the tunnels. And it just looks so fucking clean. And then obviously those eventually go out too. But yeah, they do a great job with her production, man. And obviously, Tony's just again, just very old style of cutting promos, and all her sexual innuendos is just fucking hilarious. And then after what was a great promo from the only woman in AEW that's worth her paycheck,
Mm-hmm.
and just again, amazing character work, amazing stuff as always. We always say it about Tony. They have Megan Bayne attack Tony Storm, somebody that is good in the ring, but has, I'm sorry, not really much personality. And don't take it from
No.
me, don't call me the asshole. Listen to the live audience, bro. They do not really care about Megan Bayne every time she comes out. And again, that's, no really, that's, not a slack on her in-ring work. I think her in-ring work is good. And she has a lot of potential, but it's classic AEW, man. If you're not somebody like Tony Storm who wants to, if it was up to Tony Khan, Tony Storm would still be rock star doing fucking God knows what on the show.
1000%.
Again, if you're not somebody like Tony Storm who actually wants to take your career by the balls and do something with it, the company's not really gonna help you out or push you in the right direction. And here we see it with Megan Bayne. The only thing we know about her is she's in a team with Penelope Ford, and we don't even know why. We just know that the
Well,
team exists. So,
it's fucking the Brit Breaker friend group, I guess. I don't fucking know what it is.
and now she's getting a title match, and nobody has any sort of connection to her. That's
Uh,
just what is that? And then too with this, Megan Bayne is undefeated. So either you're going to have Megan Bayne beat Tony Storm, which is absolutely the wrong decision, or you're going to have Tony Storm beat Megan Bayne. And what does that spell out? Is that the end? Is that Tony Khan's final use before he buys a new toy, or what? What
I
happens
wouldn't
after
doubt it,
that?
man.
She just loses and starts her Lance Archer arc. Is that what happens?
I wouldn't be shocked, man. Tony Khan's no stranger to signing someone, doing the big match right at the start, and then never really using them again. Really wouldn't be shocked, man. Literally, besides ego, I don't know why so many people who need, just the guidance, in this business are going to AEW instead of WWE because, NXT will teach you a lot. It'll
Mm-hmm.
make you something, dude. And I think a lot of the people are going to AEW because they get a lot of money. They'll be presented, quote unquote, as just words on a Twitter page as good and great and a banger machine and all this and all that, and it feeds their ego, and I think that's why, man. But I would just like a lot of these people to go to NXT to learn your craft and be something.
Uh, I don't get it. I don't get it, man. The amount of people that have passed up what is a good system that, okay, maybe it's a little knock on your ego that you're in developmental. I'm sorry, dude. It's proven to work. It's
And it works.
literally you see NXT and AEW. You see NXT on the main roster. It's a proven
Mhm.
fucking system that works. So why they look at it as a waste of time or whatever the case is abysmal to me, man. Or again, maybe, it must be a money thing, man, which
Eh,
if again, if your top priority is money over, creative, I mean, that's your personal decision, but you can't kick and scream when you're upset about your career going downhill. That's just,
exactly.
I mean, it is what it is. Again, I can't knock people for taking the money. I know people got families and whatnot, but those same people can't kick and scream when their career goes downhill, because again, this is something that's proven in AEW. People's
Oh yeah,
careers are proven to go and like Logan says, sign a talent, come in for the big title match, lose, never be seen again. So.
exactly.
So yeah, Megan Bain is the next challenger, and I guess we'll see where it goes from here and what they do with this, and hopefully it's something. So
I
yeah.
hope so.
The next match was the Beast Mordas. My boy is on Dynamite. Well, let's fucking go.
Okay.
The Beast Mordas is on the show. Love to
Beast
see it.
Mordo. Gotta love it.
So we are we have gotten the impending arrival of Speedball. What the
What
fuck
was
was that
that?
song, bro? What?
Speedball. That shit killed me, bro.
Dude.
What?
I was sitting there, man, and I'm like, who the fuck produced that? That sounds
It's
horrible, dude. Um, yeah, that song. I don't know if that's a new AEW song, or I don't know if that's the song he's bringing over from another promotion. That shit is ass, bro. That that
that
that
shit
was
is
that was not
ass.
good.
No.
So we finally see the AEW debut of Speedball Mike Bailey, as he is put in the ring with Beast Mordas. As right there, I think Tony Khan tells you what he thinks of Mike Bailey. So whenever Mike Bailey is done with this international tournament, do not be surprised to see him on Collision just having random matches every week. So Tony Schiavone is an absolute dork. Let me just
Yep.
start. Let's just start first and foremost and say that, dude, these two are, they're underway in their match. They're maybe about 5 minutes in at this point, and Beast Morton, he's getting some offense, right? Tony Schiavone, why does this dude always have to come in with the most cringiest lines, to the point where you're just sitting there saying to yourself, like, who is that line catered towards? A fucking a 3-year-old? Like, who is so again, Mordas is getting some offense, and Tony Schiavone decides to grace us all with the call of the night.
Okay.
The Beast Mordas will probably bite Mike Bailey's big toe off and swallow it.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? I mean,
Bro, what is the purpose of that line? Please answer me that. Shivani or Tony Khan, whoever said that line. Probably Tony Khan to Shivani to say.
I'm sitting
And
there
that's
watching
literally
that like, what?
that's literally the line Tony Khan said as a kid, like as his figures to one another, 1,000%.
I'm I'm sitting there and I'm just saying to myself, the only person that is frightened at the sound of that fucking call on commentary is fucking Tony Khan himself, or a 3-year-old.
Yep. I mean, that's who Tony Khan is, but man.
So Mike Bailey hits a standing moonsault. He hits a standing moonsault knee drop onto Beast Mordas's stomach as Tony Schiavone's yelling, "It's the ultimate weapon! It's the ultimate weapon!" And Excalibur's like, "No! That is the ultimate weapon, but it's not the ultimate weapon. The ultimate weapon is the moonsault knee drop off the second rope."
What? Wait, so it's the Ultimo weapon, which I'm assuming is his finisher name?
It's his signature.
Okay.
Yeah.
So his finisher and signature have the same name? Is
So
that what I'm getting from that commentary call? Because that's what I would get from that commentary call, but I don't think that's the case.
So the Ultimo weapon apparently is when Mike Bailey does the same move, the moonsault knee drop off the second rope. He did his standing on the mat, and apparently that's not the Ultimo weapon. Apparently it's only the Ultimo weapon if he comes off the second rope. So
What is it? Dude, this dude is really just playing a wrestling video game. It's only the signature if you're standing on the top middle rope at the time. Bro, what? He did the move.
I don't know why there
Okay.
can't just be two different versions of the Ultimo weapon, but okay.
You know, you could have like 5 finishers and signatures in 2K now, right? Mr. Tony Khan, you know that? Oh, good lord, dude. What is that? Dude, what is that commentary, man? That gotta be the most confusing. It's not the ultimate weapon. That is the ultimate weapon, but it's not the ultimate weapon.
Like what?
What? Like, what? Fucking, oh, man.
You know, that would be like John Cena. You remember when you remember when he would do the attitude adjustment off the second rope, right?
Yeah.
That would be like Michael Cole saying Super AA, and then Pat McAfee's like, "No, it's only the AA if he's standing on the mat. It's not the AA if he's coming off the second rope." Like, dude,
It's a super.
it's just a
What?
standing Ultimo weapon. Excalibur. It's like for once I'm defending Tony Schiavone. It's still a fucking Ultimo weapon. It's just a standing Ultimo weapon. He then hits him with the crescent kick, which is in a roundabout way a black mass, but he does a twirl before, and instead of hitting him with his foot, he kind of hits him with his calf. Pretty much.
Yeah, I get it. More like a karate-esque.
Yeah,
Instead of
pretty
like a
much.
Muay Thai black mass. That makes sense.
Yeah, so again, yeah, basically, like I said, basically just a black mass, but he twirls before he hits the black mass, and then, like I said, he instead of hitting him with the foot, he hits him with his calf. So that's basically that. It's pretty sick move, and you know, I said it on Friday, but you know, I'm excited for Mike Bailey. I hope Mike Bailey does good. I do, again, as a wrestling fan, I don't really have much faith in Tony Khan to properly use him and use his talents to the best of his ability, other than just having him in matches, and that is going to fizzle out. That is going to fizzle out quicker than a fucking left open 2-liter, man. So I mean, that's just it's not sustainable, unfortunately, in AEW, because everybody has banger matches. You need something. Again, we just talked about it with Tony Storm. Tony Storm wouldn't have survived if she was Rockstar. Let me just have a banger match, Tony Storm, because every single woman in AEW can have a banger match. Every single one of them. But what makes Tony Storm stand out? It's her character. So
exactly. That's what stands out usually. That's what gets you to really connect with people, is their character, their line of work. Even when the character is more of just a real version of them, we get to see a story with that person. And that's what hooks people, man. But you know, I like Mike Bailey. He's good in the ring, obviously. He's very athletic, and I do like that. I just hope Tony Khan just uses them, constantly, correctly. I hope he gets ricocheted. I hope he gets a character. I hope he gets used. I hope he gets a character, man. But overall, I doubt it, and I hope the best for him because I don't know if I see the best in what Tony Khan has for him.
Me neither. So Christian Cage is backstage. This was actually one of my favorite parts about Dynamite. I actually really enjoyed this segment here. Christian Cage is he's in the back. He is blaming the referee for making it a three-way match. He says he is still the AEW or the undisputed next AEW champion, and he wants his contract returned to him. He says the ref went behind his back. He made it a three-way match when he asked for a one-on-one match against Cope. Okay, Christian, here's the problem. Cope was not the champion yet.
Yeah.
So if you requested a one-on-one match against Cope for the AEW championship, you can't fucking do that because he's not the champion.
Even if you pin the fucking guy, which ain't gonna happen, nobody's gonna do that. Even if you pin the guy, you wouldn't win anything. He's not the champion. What?
Yeah, Mox. Just do us a favor tonight, man. In the main event, go ahead and defend your championship. We're gonna have Jon Moxley defend the AEW championship in a Christian Cage versus Adam Copeland match.
Like, okay, good lord.
He says he did not tap out or pass out. He was relegating his breath, trying to get ready to reverse the hold. Nick Wayne is laughing as he is in his emo middle school teenager phase. He's starting to talk back to his dad. He is. Nick tells him, "You're making excuses. You're lying to yourself, you're lying to these people, and you're lying to us. Do you remember the original plan? Maybe if you stuck with it, you would be the champion right now. Now, not only do you owe us an apology, not only do you owe them an apology, you owe us an apology." He pushes Nick. Nick Wayne's mom, or Mother Wayne, whatever the fuck you call her. She gets in Christian's face, and he tells her, he says, "If you have something to say, go ahead and say it. Just know as soon as you do, you will be back working the midnight shift at Waffle House."
Mm-hmm.
It might not be such a bad thing. I mean, I hear a lot of good things about, I hear a lot of good things about Waffle House, man. So maybe maybe it's not such a bad idea. However, he then gets in Nick Wayne's face. He says, "Who are you? Who are you to question me and my tactics? How many world titles have you won? How many world titles did your biological father ever win? You should be thanking your stars that I found you because you would have ended up a loser like your father. The guy that died in front of your mother's face like a coward. Something that'll never happen to me. I'm not a coward." He says, "Are you questioning me? You don't think I'm good enough? I am going to be champion if it's the last thing that I do on this earth, so I suggest you shut your mouth and keep riding my coattails, because the next time we have this conversation will be the last time." I'm excited for this, actually. I really enjoyed this segment, and I really like the teasing of Nick Wayne starting to, break out on his own, man. I know a lot of people like to give him slack, but he is extremely young, and I'm sure he has a lot of upside in this company if AEW decides to actually pick up the ball and capitalize with it, man. But what did you think about this segment, man? And what did you think about them starting teasing? Well, they've teased, I guess, for a while, but this was the first time it was really, I guess, in your face. So how did you feel about it?
I liked it, man. I liked the segment a lot. I liked the interaction. I thought it was really good. I thought Nick Wayne did really good in his promo, dude. I like him. I think, I think they could definitely use him and put him as a piece to have a future in this company, man. And I hope they capitalize on this, man, because you could do a lot, from this whole breakup. Nick Wayne moving on from this storyline, and I think it'd have a lot of value. And I like the way it looks, man. If that's just the start of it, I would very much like to see the rest of it.
Definitely. Definitely. This is how you do a breakup angle, Tony. You don't have a bodyguard with somebody for 3 months and then do the breakup angle and then never to see her face again on the
And
programming. This is how you actually
literally,
do it. So,
good lord.
MJF comes out for a promo. He says he had the match won on Sunday, but the cowardly cowboy had to get his fluke win. He says him and Hangman are not done. MVP comes out. They hugged. MVP talked about their history. He talked about how they met. He went through just different scenarios of him meeting MJF when he was first coming up in the wrestling business. He talked about how he was proud of MJF because everything he said he was going to do, he did. He says he is not proud of him for what happened on Sunday. He asked him why he was out here whining to the people instead of hurting people. He says MJF lost his edge. He says nobody in the back respects or fears MJF anymore, but they do fear the Hurt Syndicate. And maybe it's time for us to exchange business cards. He hands MJF, or he goes to hand MJF the Hurt Syndicate business card. MJF rejects. MJF says, I respect you, but I don't need your help and I don't need your advice. He says, oh, my bad. Okay. I lost my, he says MJF has more moments than majority of people in this company, whether these morons want to admit it or not. I was the champion for 406 days. MVP says, focus on the word was. He hands MJF the business. He goes to hand MJF the business card again, and MJF takes it this time. So this was a great segment, man. This was a great segment. The only thing here, these two definitely had good chemistry on the mic. The only thing here is where are we going with this? Is MJF going to join the fucking Hurt Business? Are we going Bobby versus MJF? Are we going the unlikely route of MJF and Hangman teaming up against the Hurt Syndicate? That was one kind of thing I thought here because, Bobby and Shelton are the tag team champions, and it wouldn't really make too much sense to have Bobby Lashley go off and fight MJF in the middle of being tag team champions. That was one thing I maybe thought that AEW could do, the unlikely duo, I guess, of Hangman and MJF, the AEW originals, and maybe doing something around that. I don't know if that's something they would want to do. But you kind of, I don't really know what else to think after you do a segment like this, because, who really sees MJF joining the Hurt Business? So, I don't know. That's a route. That is a route they can go. That is a route they could go. Again, I don't really know how much sense that would make, being that MJF, when he came back, basically told the world he would never trust anybody ever again. After the whole Adam Cole stuff, so I don't know why he would team with somebody else. So I don't really understand that, but nonetheless, these two had good promo chemistry, and I'm interested to see where it goes. Although it doesn't nothing really, I guess. presents itself right now.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. Like you said, I really liked this segment. Thought the chemistry was really good. I always love seeing MJF have history with, this person, that person. It's always such a cool aspect of, who he is and his character. And as for the direction, that's the whole thing I didn't really understand about this. I think the best way might be that tag match with him and Hangman. I think that's your best way out of it. I mean, MJF in a faction, the last times it happened hasn't gone too well, so I probably wouldn't try that work. That path again, and him just versus Bobby wouldn't make any sense. Like you said, as Bobby being a tag team champion, so I would think MJF and Hangman, being a temporary tag team might be the best way to do it. But even then, if Hangman was in a temporary tag team with anybody, I think Swerve might be the more interesting story, but I don't know. Him and MJF's character are very similar. At the end of the day, they're like polar opposites of the same thing, so that could very well work. I will say I'm interested, and you got me interested. I'll keep watching, these guys' segments and see where this overall story is leading. But very good segment, just very interested to see what direction you could take this, man. Very curious.
Definitely. Max Caster. Look, man,
Dang,
I'm not gonna lie.
fall off.
I kind of find this stuff entertaining. I can't lie to you, bro. This man. So AEW has one good route they can go here for me, and that is to continue to have Max Caster be a loser and then end up realizing he needed Anthony Bowens and Billy Gunn more than he needed, or more than he originally thought. But other than that, obviously there's absolutely no way you go with him as a singles, and the only route I could come up with for even a little bit of investment would be getting the Acclaimed back together through Max's little ego trip here. He said something to Takeshita here that I know a lot of people hate Max Caster, bro, but I don't know. This stuff's just kind of entertaining to me, bro. I don't know how you feel about this, man, but so he calls out his open challenge, recipient or whatever. Takeshita comes out. This fucking guy, Max Caster, grabs the mic laughing, and he says he says to Takeshita, he says, "Dude, I'll kill you, man. What are we doing here?" And it fucking reminded me. I don't know if this was on purpose or not, but it fucking reminded me of the fucking CM Punk and Jack Perry. Dude, I'll kill you, man. What are we doing here? And dude, as soon as this fucking match started, he forearms Caster, hits him with a raging fire, and beats him. So much for Max Caster killing Takeshita. I don't know, man. It's stupid, but it's kind of fucking entertaining. I can't lie. Just because I don't know. I just fucking find it funny. I just find it funny, man, that just Max Caster coming out there every week talking his shit and then just absolutely getting his ass beat. Again, I don't really see this as a sustainable route singles, and the only direction I could see this going is him eventually trying to crawl back to Bowens and Billy Gunn. So that's if Billy Gunn is still even in the company, man. He's in fucking he's in WWE 2K, so I don't even know that
I think I saw a story where he was talking about how he has a deal that while he signed to AEW, he could be in 2K still. I remember.
That's good.
Yeah, I know it wasn't a story that was important enough for news, to be honest, but I remember seeing that. I was like,
Makes
okay,
sense.
that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. But that's the only way I could see this going, man. And what do you think about the whole Max Caster stuff? What do you think about the whole Max Caster stuff? Where do you see this going? And what did you think about this whole match and segment here?
Overall, I mean, it gets your Tony Khan squash match in there, and it gives it a better reason than just random people getting squash, man. So overall, I mean, it does what it is. What it is. I think it's funny. Just the only direction, like you said, is getting the Acclaim back together, because don't know what any of them can do on their own. Max, Bowens, I really don't know what they're trying to do here, and especially with what they trademark for Bowens, all the pride of AEW and whatnot. I don't know how much they are looking to get back with the Acclaimed, so I don't know. I think that would be the best direction. I don't know if that is going to be the direction. It was funny. It's just don't know where any of these guys really go, man.
Understandable. I get it. I get it, bro. But yeah, I don't either of them. If you decide to keep these two as a singles, I mean that is
It's
about as
not gonna
close.
work.
Yeah, about it. That is about as close to career suicide as you can get. And you know, Max is very good. We've seen this in the early Acclaimed run, but Max and Bowens are very good at having people dislike them.
Hmm.
And they went through the babyface run. It died out. I don't see a reason why you wouldn't want to maybe reform them as a heel group, being that again, Max already does a great job at getting people to dislike him. Max shows on a weekly basis how easy it is to get people to hate you. I mean,
Yeah, just
people
ultimate
just
dickhead.
yes. I mean, he is the ultimate troll on social media. He is just the ultimate dickhead, and he makes it look so easy. Um,
Hmm.
and on social media, it's not easy to get people to hate you. Somebody's usually always got fucking something to say, but he makes it look so easy, man. So I don't really know why you wouldn't re-get the Acclaim back together, man, because again, singles, I'm sorry, man, these two guys are cooked if this is the
Oh
actual
yeah.
route you want to go. um Willow Nightingale defeated Penelope Ford, who attacked Willow after the match. Statlander came out to save Willow. Megan Bayne attacked both of them. Is she going for the women's championship, or is she fucking going for Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander? I don't know. I don't know who she's going after. I don't know her character. I don't know anything about Megan Bayne virtually, other
I
than
would like
she likes
to.
Penelope Ford.
Yeah, she's cool with her for some reason we weren't told, and we weren't told anything about Megan Bayne, man. So hopefully one of these weeks we get at least some sort of just talk to Megan Bayne to get to know who she is.
Mercedes Monet is backstage. She asks Billy Starks to be a part of her interview and challenges her to a match next week. Or Billy challenges her to a match next week. Mercedes says there's a price to pay when you mess with Monet, and she'll see her next week. So Mercedes versus Billy Starks next week or in 2 days now, is the match for
Yeah,
Dynamite. So
see how
there
that
you go.
see what that sets up. Hopefully it's setting up, Athena come in, take TBS title, but we'll get there when we get there. Oh, I think this might be the first step in the pond.
Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay is out here for a promo. He thanks the fans, and he says Kyle Fletcher will be a world champion one day. He talks about lying to his missus after jumping off the top of the cage. Um, Goes into a whole full-fledged story about that. He then says he wants to be the guy, but he needs to have gold around his waist. He says Cope is next week. Swerve is at Dynasty. When is the best time to call my shot? He thought. He then looks behind him at the All In banner. He says, what about All In Texas? To do that, I need to declare for the Owen. And he declares for the Owen Hart Cup and is going to be in the tournament to try to get himself a championship match. So, yeah, that's that. What did you think about this, man? And how did you feel about Ospreay throwing his name in that hat?
Definitely like it. Definitely love it with Will Ospreay throwing his name in the hat to go for a world title. And uh, I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe Darby comes back and Owen, and he's at All In, or maybe I dead ass. I don't know at this point with fucking AEW, man. But either way, I like the idea of Will Ospreay going for a world title, man. So I'm excited either way. I like this promo. Love Will Ospreay's promos, man, and very interested to see how this whole Owen Cup and All In build end up going.
100%. 100%, man. You know, it would have been very creative of AEW when Jon Moxley, when Jon Moxley took the championship match from Darby. Imagine he
Mhm.
didn't take that championship match from Darby, but just took Darby out. So by the time he came back after Mount Everest, he still had that title shot up his sleeve. Because
Mhm.
you could have easily done Will versus Darby versus Moxley, or I brought up the idea of having Nick Wayne help screw Christian Cage out of the contract to then give it to his old friend Darby Allin. But I think that's a
Yeah.
little too creative for AEW. And Osprey, putting his name in the hat. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man. I really, really see all three of these guys that were mentioned in this promo,
Was it?
Cope, Strickland, and Osprey. I honestly see Jon Moxley within the next 4 months until we get to All In. I think he's gonna go on a monstrous run, and I think he's going. We're all gonna hate it, and it's gonna suck. But I think he's going to. I think he's gonna be on his. I think he's gonna be on his final boss shit, and I think he's gonna beat everybody that steps in front of his way because so many people hate this storyline now. You would think to yourself, well, the old AEW, they would, maybe pivot away from this. I can tell you with the amount of people that hate this storyline, they think the hate
Prove
is
you wrong.
they think the hate is a good thing. And they're thinking,
Mhm.
well, this is how they're supposed to feel. But what they don't realize is the Death Rider story is so bad, people genuinely want this group taken off of television, like to the point where it's ruined a lot of people's interest in AEW with every main event program that they've had since
Oh
Mox has
yeah.
become champion. They fail to realize that. What they think is he's a heel and people hate him, we're doing the right thing. Which again, in a perfect world, I would want to keep the championship on Jon Moxley for Darby Allin to finish his story. We're not in a perfect world though, and the storyline sucks. And if the storyline was good, I would absolutely be saying, yeah, beat Osprey, beat Swerve, beat all these legit guys that are, gonna go after the championship and save it for Darby. But again, at this point, dude, television is so bad with the Death Riders and Jon Moxley at that main event scene on the card. It unfortunately we're not in a perfect world, man. And Darby can still have his moment. He can still come in and beat whoever is the champion at All In. But I just don't know that. I don't know this is the right idea, but I honestly think, like I said, man, I honestly think Jon Moxley is going to go on something of a monstrous run and beat all three of these names to eventually make his way to Darby. So, unfortunately,
Oh,
I think we got about 4 months left, bro.
I think we do. People keep oh, Swerve's gonna win. Swerve's gotta win. I want him to, but hate to break it to people, he's not. Cope's not gonna win. Swerve's not gonna win. Will isn't gonna win. None of these guys are gonna win. It's gonna be Darby.
Which I guess will be an awesome moment for Darby because we will all be rid of the Death Riders, but will the damage already be done is the problem.
Oh yeah, and
So
people are already pissed at like Darby for not being here for this, so they're not gonna like his inclusion in all this.
yeah. Yeah, and like I said, man, I don't know if the damage will have already be done to the point of people are going to be so sick of the Death Riders, whoever's reign is next, is going to have a hard time recovering the all the rubble from the fire. So I don't know. It's going to be a tricky task. So we'll see. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So Jay White has a backstage promo, and he says he's calling his shot. He says for Will to call his shot, he would have to go through him. Instead, he keeps dodging him. He says he did not hit Cope on purpose. He says he will always have Cope's back. And he says Swerve getting a world he says he sees Swerve getting a world title shot, but he had the title won at World's End, and and he's given everything to taking down Moxley and the Death Riders, and he will be damned if he got any or oh good lord. He says he'll be damned if anyone else got to take his rightful place as number one contender for the AEW World Champion.
Homie, there's like 5 #1 contenders right now. What are you talking about?
I don't I
Vince
don't
just
know.
got that man yapping.
And in the main event, Orange Cassidy defeated Hechicero. That's the fucking
Wait a bit.
that's the best you have for the main event of Dynamite post Revolution? Orange Cassidy versus Hechicero?
Little bore fest for a main event, dude. Good lord.
Well, Orange beat him, and that was
No way.
and that was Dynamite, bro. That was Dynamite.
Yeah.
Not to mention MJF ran into Hangman in the back, and he basically, they basically in a roundabout way started a race to see who's going to become the AEW World Champion the fastest. But again, with the whole Hurt Syndicate story, maybe they become AEW World Champions together. Or AEW World Tag Team Champions together, Ragley. Maybe, or maybe they hold gold in AEW together rather than racing for the World Championship separately.
Very possible, man. But that segment was basically just that, like our feud against each other is on pause,
Yep.
and we're about to do something else. So we'll see whatever it is next, and I think it might be some variation of a tag team.
Yeah, unless they just go completely separate routes and do something separate, completely separate with Hangman, and then do something completely separate with MJF and him being in the Hurt Business or something. I don't fucking know, man. Regardless, what I do know about is W Energy, man.
You know about that?
W Energy is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated to improve focus without getting the jitters, man. W Energy is a clean energy drink formula that is sugar-free, 0-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W Energy products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W order, man. As always, the official sponsor of the Notorious Heels podcast. Shout out, as always, to W.
Really, always got to give them a shout out, man. Whether you need the energy for workout, or today's like today, maybe you got up a little too early for Raw, man. Maybe you were waiting, you needed a boost, start of your day, man. W's perfect. You'll be jitterless, and it'll taste good all at the same time.
There you have it. So, SmackDown. SmackDown took place in Barcelona, Spain. Hot crowd. Very, very hot crowd.
Most definitely.
And it seems that with well, we got a couple rumors of these premium live events and where they're taking place. A lot of our international summer seems to be slipping out of our hands,
It
bro.
doesn't seem to
Unfortunately.
be an international summer anymore.
No, I don't even know about an international fall at this point. I don't know. I don't
Doesn't
know
look
where.
like it.
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck we're going with this. So we will see, and we will definitely talk about that. Crowd was hot. Crowd was hot, man. We get LA Knight out there, man, and Jimmy Uso comes out to challenge LA Knight for the US tag titles.
Oh, poor Big Jim.
Big Jim. The listen, I know you want your brother by your side again. You know, I know you want the Usos back together. You know, with all these tag teams coming into WWE, and you got the Lucha Bros and the Motor City Machine Guns and all these other acts and whatnot. There is no U.S. tag titles, and please
No,
do not
ever do that.
make WWE's ears go up. What?
Oh,
U.S. Wait, hold on, I got a better idea. U.S. and
everyone
Intercontinental Tag Team Championships.
they could just hold that instead. Oh man.
Wait. We need something for teams like Los Garza. We need the U.S. tag titles.
I think the thing they're searching for, instead of mid-card women's titles, mid-card tag titles, I think the phrase is called momentum, and I think that's what people really need.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I can get behind that.
Good
So,
Lord, your teams don't even have momentum.
hold your tongue, man. Hold your tongue. We will have a very interesting conversation about the tag team division on SmackDown in just a second here. But out comes the man, the myth, the legend, the mathlete, the mathematician, Solo Sikoa. Solo comes out. This man is, dude, fucking Solo. The crowd played to this perfectly. Solo comes out there and he goes, Jim, you're not getting a shot at the U.S. title, but I could think of someone who is very deserving of the U.S. title. The crowd boos because everybody's fucking thinking he's about to say himself, right? And he goes, and that man is Jacob Fatu. Crowd fucking erupts. Hilarious.
He knows what he's doing.
Solo then asked Jimmy to do the family a full favor. So, out of context, Solo wants Jimmy to do the family a fucking favor.
I was so glad to see that.
I want you to do the family a fucking favor, were the words that it sure sounded like Solo Sikoa was about to say live. I mean, it was taped, so they easily could have edited it out. But live on the air,
hilarious.
the way he held his breath,
Bro obviously caught himself slipping up to the family of a favor. Dude, Jimmy's face was hilarious, dude. Fucking hilarious moment.
Solo, dude, they did a backstage promo with Jacob Fatu. And Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga's standing in the background as Jacob's cutting his promo, and he's looking menacing. You look at Solo. Do you remember how good he was at masking his emotion in the OG Bloodline?
And lost all that skill completely.
I don't know what happened. This man was sitting there covering his mouth, trying so hard not to laugh And then at the end, he just decides to just fucking jump up and say Fa-Tu with Tama and Jacob. Solo's a national treasure, bro. Good
Man,
lord.
is I love Solo.
He is a national treasure. So I don't know if this is the route that they're taking with not going with Solo and Jacob, because we've kind of pumped the brakes on that. I mean, we have
Yeah,
a month to go till Mania season, or till the pay-per-view, but they are, almost not teasing that as heavy at all anymore, as it sort of looks like Solo is kind of taking a
totally.
back seat. I don't know if that's something they're going to save for a summer feud, or I don't know, because it certainly looks right now to me like we could possibly be getting some sort of Fatu versus LA Knight at Mania,
Yeah,
or maybe they do a triple threat, or maybe the US title is the one that gets the ladder match and they end up going with Penta and Braun in a one-on-one
maybe.
match, which kind of what we've seen tonight. But I don't know. How are you feeling? What do you think they're going to do with Fatu, and where's your mind at with all this?
It really does seem like they pumped the brakes on the turn. Maybe that's to make the turn better, and maybe it is going to happen before Mania. And he's been so cool, essentially with Jacob as like a swerve. That could be really cool. But overall, maybe it is going to be a multi-man match. Maybe it's basically LA Knight versus the rest of the Bloodline, essentially. Um, and maybe all those guys are in there. Maybe that's where some the maybe after whoever wins, whoever that may be. Maybe Jacob's pissed at Solo. Maybe that's when the turn happens. It's very intriguing to see what direction they're taking this, man. Especially, I'm very intrigued to see what that Mania card builds up to, because all the non-title undercard matches seems like they're not happening at WrestleMania anymore. So I don't know what the fuck's gonna be on that show at this point, man. But very interesting the way this is building up, man. And like you said, after tonight, it does look like you really can, and they're pointing at us at a one-on-one for Braun and Penta. So I don't know, man. They are really fucking swinging with this Mania season and just doing the most random shit possible. I mean, it's good, but it's throwing me off, man. It really is.
For sure. For sure, man. And that was that. We get vignettes, two vignettes on this night. One for Ray Phoenix, which we showed you
Mhm.
guys on Friday. It was like the pictures of it was blatantly pictures of Ray Phoenix. It was him, on the top rope, walking or running across the rope like he does, and it showed a shot of his back tattoo. And then the other vignette was an all black screen with smoke around the screen, and the number 4 popped up on the screen. And a lot of people are saying, what could the 4 mean? It's easy. 4 years since Aleister Black has been in WWE. 4 years since he's got released. It's been 4 years from 2021 until now 2025. It's been 4 years, and I'm obviously expecting him back, as I think everybody should. There is a little bit of news on the rumored date he will be coming back, and I fully expect us to get into that on Friday. But yeah, so that well, I mean, that's really no well, okay, basically, the rumor is it's going to be the SmackDown after WrestleMania, so April 25th. We're looking at
I wouldn't
the
be shocked.
return for Aleister Black. I wouldn't be either. I definitely I could definitely, see them. I could definitely see them wanting to save his return for the, they're obviously going to need some big stuff for that Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania. It's obviously going to be huge. Those are always huge shows for WWE with debuts, returns, etc. So I fully expected that. As for Ray Phoenix, um
Hmm.
Apparently, the rumor is he's going to be getting started as soon as they come back to the States, which is actually April 4th. It's in Chicago, SmackDown.
Hmm.
And that could very well be the case. To be 100% honest, though, I would probably just save him for the SmackDown after WrestleMania as well.
You might as well at this point let him build himself up during the summer.
Mm
Penta kind of had the first quarter of the year. Let him have like that, second in between
hmm. Mm
quarter, and I think that's probably best too.
hmm. 100%. 100%. Um, so yeah, um, that was the vignettes that they played. And, yeah, I, um, me and Sir K actually deserve massive pats on the back because we were fucking saying for months that Penta is off to a really good start and he's really hot as a singles. So why don't you do the same thing with Rey Fenix on the other brand and let him be a luchador on the other brand that is exciting, that has charisma, is exciting to watch, great in the ring, and why don't you let people take to him the same way people took to Pentagon? And it's actually fucking happening. And I commend
But
WWE for not blowing their load with the Lucha Bros because, again, although your tag division does need help, you can add the Lucha Bros back, maybe when the Usos, get back into the tag division and, start kind of doing their thing. And then, you can really ramp it up with your tag teams, man. But, I completely agree with them, letting Rey Fenix get a little bit of that shine that Pentagon has gotten so far into his run.
almost definitely, I hope he gets it, and it looks like he is getting it. So I'm very excited they did that. I didn't think they were gonna do it.
Me neither. Me neither, man. I really didn't. But I mean, it just seems ridiculous to derail Pentagon singles run and kind of everything. Excuse me, that he's had going on for him as a singles, which has been pretty successful in my opinion. Now, I'm expecting it to be even more successful now that he's kind of seems to be getting done with the whole Kaiser and Pete Dunne, first starter feud for him in WWE, I guess, where, we've wrapped that up, at least it seems. So, I fully expect it to get even better than it already has been. So, excited for that. But, yeah. So,
Hmm.
and as for Aleister Black, yeah, like I said, the rumor is April 25th. So, obviously that's happening after Mania and stuff. And I honestly probably would save Rey Fenix for then as well. So,
Most definitely.
Damian Priest, he is in the back and he gets interrupted by Nakamura. And Nakamura, he says something in Japanese to Damien. Damien then says something back to him in Spanish. And Damien tells Nakamura, get this. He tells
Yeah.
Nakamura he's looking for a fight.
Oh man. I don't know. I was watching Wednesday still.
Me neither. Apparently we are, though.
I'm looking for
Apparently,
a fight.
yeah, he's looking for a fight, man, is Damian Priest. So he got his fight as WWE fucking aired Damian Priest versus Shinsuke Nakamura on SmackDown.
Well, you got 3 hours, and that's what you put on.
Oh,
Okay.
oh my. Holy fuck, dude. Who had the balls to write that down on the fucking piece of paper for the run sheet for the show? This is what you gave Barcelona? Damian Priest versus Nakamura? That sounds like the most miserable match ever.
Lord.
You have washed versus garbage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what good that does. Well, Drew McIntyre came out afterwards and attacked Damian Priest. So,
No way.
that was that. As Kevin Owens came out after Randy Orton's match with Carmelo Hayes, and he attacked Randy Orton after, yeah, like I said, he attacked Randy Orton after his match with Carmelo Loser
Literally.
Hayes.
There you go. That's what he is, unfortunately, for some reason.
Yeah. So, we have Gunther coming out here on SmackDown in ring gear to challenge a kid from Barcelona. He then brings out Axiom. Axiom and Gunther have a pretty good match. Crowd was very hot for it, and Gunther picked up the victory. So, yeah, that was that.
Very fun match.
For sure. Paul Heyman announces Roman Reigns and his return to SmackDown next week. So, yeah, it looks like Sir Kay
Very
was
exciting.
1,000% right about the direction of that and them moving the triple threat, shifting that over to a SmackDown feud, and then switching Cena and Cody over to a Raw feud. So Roman is what's up?
Even though like there's gonna be a lot of stuff that happens with that feud on SmackDown, but next week they announced CM Punk for Raw, so okay, he's just gonna be on both, I guess.
So, soft brand split, man. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
There you go. If it's soft brands, well, at this point, that shit is brittle as fuck.
Yeah, soft as in fucking God, as Tempur-Pedic soft, I guess. Yes, paper thin brand split. I guess you can call it. Yeah, I don't know, man, but yeah, I don't know. I guess we're just going week by week, whatever WWE feels. Because CM Punk was advertised for this Raw tonight. This was the only Raw he was advertised for. And again, now, like you said, now it seems he's going to be next week instead. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
So, I guess they're just going with the wind, I guess. Speaking of going with the wind, the Street Profits are up, and they have defeated DIY for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. They have defeated DIY for the WWE Tag Team Championships. You know, we had a long conversation about this last night with our manager here, Logan. What did you make of the Street Profits winning the Tag Team Championships, man? And why did this happen, bro? Talk to me.
Well, it happened because Street Profits, man, they kind of lost all momentum. I mean, they tried to do a heel turn, but then they couldn't actually go through with changing their identity, so they stopped, came back from that, and now they kind of act, I guess, a little edgier by WWE Street Profits standards, and now they won the tag titles, dude. I mean, the fans still love these guys really for some reason. I don't really see the hype. There's potential, a lot of potential there, but the character work they do just doesn't work for me. Montez on the mic doesn't work for me, and their dismissive nature of Angelo Dawkins really never works for me, man. So I don't know, man. I think they just threw them this bone to keep them semi-relevant, but at the end of the day, WWE really doesn't care about their tag team division, so why would I care that they won the titles of the division, man? And they're off to probably have a few month reign that no one's probably really gonna remember, and who knows who's gonna beat them even at this point, man. But yeah, it's a decision that I'm not shocked about, but I don't think has the value and speciality that they think it has, man. But it's a decision that Triple H made, and we'll see how it goes, man. But I don't think it's gonna fan out too well, man. But what did you think about them winning the titles and whatnot?
Yeah, it's a bit odd to me, man. I can't lie, man. It is a bit odd to me. I mean, you look at this SmackDown tag division, man, and it seems like they have a division and they want to attempt to build on it. There's about 5 tag teams, which per WWE standards, I guess, is a division. Being that I guess there's been times where there's been like 2 tag teams in the division. I mean, I guess 5 is okay, but again, obviously it could be bigger, but per WWE standards, this is your division. And it seems like they have teams that they do want to feature, right? You got about like 5 teams in there, with Los Garza, you got Pretty Deadly, you got Street Profits, Motor City, and then DIY, right? You got those teams, and it seems like they want to do something with these teams, but at the same time it feels so directionless.
Yeah.
At the same time it feels so directionless, and like I said, we were talking about this yesterday with Mr. Manager, but again, man, it seems so, like I said, it's just like they have something there, and they have teams that they want to use, but it feels so directionless. It really just feels like, you had the Bloodline. You had the Bloodline hold the championships. You had them get screwed out of the championships for Motor City, MCMG, to take the titles. Then, a couple months later, they dropped the titles to DIY, and now DIY is dropping them a couple months later to the Street Profits, and it just seems like they're just hip-hopping the titles around, and it just makes everything feel so directionless. It just, like, I don't know, it just everything just feels so irrelevant in the SmackDown tag team division. And I can't say they're not trying, because it seems like they're trying. It's just not good. And it just gives off like, oh, well, things maybe seem like they're dying down. Let's just throw the titles on somebody else. It's just kind of like everything just feels so directionless. It just seems like their idea for it just seems like their idea for spiking up the tag team division on SmackDown is to just swap the titles onto somebody else. And it just
Most definitely.
It just comes off bad, man. Everything on that SmackDown tag division just feels so irrelevant. And then you look at Raw's tag division, and there's nothing going on at all, which comes as a shock, because the month of February, the War Raiders were doing their thing.
Yeah, it was good. People were fucking with it, dude. And you just never capitalize on that for some reason, dude. I don't get the lack of care for the tag team division. It's like you said, it's just, we need some fire, up, throw the titles on them, boom, got some fire right there. And that's all it is, dude.
Yeah, so the Street Profits win the tag titles, man, and I expect them to do the same thing that the Bloodline, that Motor City, that DIY did with the tag team championships within the last 6 months, and that is nothing. So
yeah,
it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, bro. It just, I don't know. It gives me vibes of that whole it just gives me vibes of that whole 2016 Raw division, where they were just trying to stat pad Charlotte, but in the meantime, you were just swapping the titles. And obviously every week they're out here, Charlotte's a 6-time women's champion, and she's fucking been on the main roster for a year. Like, what is even that, dude? But no, I mean, it just gives vibes of that, bro. Sasha wins the title. No, now Charlotte wins it back. Oh, now Sasha wins it. Now Charlotte wins it back. Oh, now Bayley wins it. Now Charlotte wins it back. Now, like, dude, it just seems like it seems like you're looking at your SmackDown tag division and just saying, which teams haven't won the gold? Bloodline? Throw the belts on them. Oh, okay. Here's Motor City Machine Guns, our newest tag team. Throw the titles on them within 3 weeks. Okay. Now what? DIY just turned heel. What do we do with them? Throw the titles on them. Oh, okay. Now what do we do? Those Street Profits are edgy now. Okay. What do we do with them? Throw the titles on them. It's like their default answer for every fucking tag team in the division, and none of these reigns mean a fucking thing.
No, literally, man.
I don't get it.
I really don't understand.
There's Belle. Hey, Belle.
There she is. How you doing?
Late as can be. She went heel on us. She did some John Cena stuff, but, you know, it's all right. I understand. Completely understand. I guess I forgive you. Again. So, Monday Night Raw. That was pretty much everything for SmackDown, man. Man.
Here it goes.
Monday night, yes, the meat and potatoes are finally here. Monday Night Raw from Brussels, Belgium. Wow. We got word maybe about an hour before that Cody and Cena would be opening the show. So obviously I'm getting hyped. John Cena makes his entrance to the same theme song, with the same gear, with the same entrance, minus him doing his hand symbols. And initially I thought this was weird, but as the promo went on, he made sense out of it. But initially I was definitely for sure a bit taken back, because in my head I'm like, I'm surprised they didn't do anything new, which, again, we did get our reason for, so I loved it. So, John Cena, dude, when he was making his entrance, the John Cena sucks. Dude.
Oh, dude.
I haven't.
Slow walk.
Oh, I have not heard that loud since maybe 2016, and at that point people were just doing it because it was kind of like the Kurt Angle "you suck." They just wanted to sing something.
Dude, insane, dude. Insane entrance, dude. The crowd reaction, man, was just insane. That slow walk,
dude,
with everybody just bowing. It was perfect.
Yes, he walked out there like he didn't give a fuck. And that shows no hustle. Attention to detail. Attention to detail there, man. He comes out wearing the same John Cena gear, except this time it's Brussels themed, right? Basically this very shirt I'm wearing now for the farewell tour, but Brussels. And the crowd is chanting loud, John Cena sucks. And then, man, this shit touched my heart, bro. This man gets in the middle of the ring, and there is a fucking thunderous, "Let's go, Cena, Cena sucks," loud. Like, when I tell you loud, I mean fucking, I haven't heard it that loud since 2012. Loud. Loud. So, he drops the mic. Well, first of all, he's standing there with just a stone cold look on his face. Just stone cold. Just like, again, he doesn't want to be there. Right? It was amazing. Yeah. He's standing there and he drops the mic. He goes to leave. He then goes back. He picks it up. He drops it again. He picks it back up because you can... And he explains all of it, but you could see the conflict in his character. Like, he wants to speak, but he's also kind of tired of the audience. But then he just ends up saying, fuck it. I need to get this off my chest. We then get a "you sold out." John Cena starts the promo off very low tone. He says, when somebody is properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside themselves for approval.
Dude,
Crowd boos over this. Go ahead.
him using the good guy motivational phrases, but in that type of context, is the most perfect thing you could think of for a heel John Cena, dude. Because that's
It's
you would say,
perfect.
that happy old John Cena telling the young kids, just, if you're looking at other people, you're not like, but as a bad guy and him in the context of, yeah, I'm gonna do this and I don't care. Perfect, dude. Literally perfect.
Beautiful. Beautiful stuff, bro. He says, you all are making this so easy for me. 25 years I've been a victim of an abusive relationship. He says, the audience has lost their time to talk. Your time is up. My time is now.
Perfect.
He says, I've came out here for 25 years and all you know how to do is be hurtful. All you know how to do is bully me and expect me to be your puppet and me have a smile on my face. We then get a fuck you Cena chant or a you Cena chant. We're on Netflix, bro. What?
Like, you're not taking off air, bro. I don't get it. And it's the crowd.
It's the
I get
audience.
you guys, as the show itself, don't want to say that. Okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
It's the crowd. It's not you. Oh, that's so annoying.
And it takes away so much from like a hostile atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, quick. I don't want to deteriorate or I don't want to, go away from this too much, but imagine after WrestleMania 33, imagine Roman comes out there. Do you remember how hostile that crowd was? Fuck you, Roman. Shut the fuck up. And he didn't even speak a word. Imagine that. Imagine how much you would take away from that environment if you hear you Roman, like, dude,
It's like,
it's fucking irritating, dude. It's fucking
yeah, it is.
irritating. So John says, I am not a baby face. I am not a heel. I am a human being. And each and every one of you has been awful to me. And it's been the same noise for 25 years. He says when he first got here, we let him know that we hated him. He says through moments of embarrassment, you let me know. And then you liked me for a second, but it wasn't enough. But I worked hard and I started to win and win and win and win and win. And I won a lot and you hated it and it wasn't enough. And then I spent the next 10 years of my life trying to give you everything that I could and it still wasn't enough. Or then getting loud, shut the up chants from the crowd here in Brussels. So, really,
No, they were 100% like the first like 2
that was
and 3
yeah,
were.
that's what I remember. The first there was for like the first 2 or 3 fuck you Cenas, but then after that it was just all you Cena.
Literally.
So listen, Bell, you don't have to flex your UK status every time, okay?
No.
This
Every
is
time I watch Raw, you guys flex how much shit you get that we don't.
come on,
I'm
dude.
tired of it. The segments we don't, fucking entrances we don't get. Come on.
Crazy work. So yes, so then the crowd starts chanting shut the fuck up. And he says, "In my final moments, what could I do? Walk away?" So I announced my retirement for the end of this year, and I tried one last time to get along with you guys. And as always, it's never enough. And each and every one of these idiots is proving my point. And my point is, whatever I do, it's never enough. And you should all be ashamed of yourself. All you ever do is take. I put my values on the line, and all you do is think, what can we get? Not one of you single sons of bitches ever asked me, how do you feel? You get nothing. He says, you get what you earned. You don't get a new look. You don't get new music. The only thing you get is to take a long look in the mirror after all of you have been awful to me for 25 years. You guys want Cody. The crowd is chanting, we want Cody. So Cena says, you guys want Cody? Your brand new shiny toy. Because you're about to put this one out to pasture. With every breath, you prove my point, and that you all are awful people, especially the people I can easily pick out, as he's pointing to his shirt, especially the ones I can easily pick out, the Let's Go Cena people. He says, the people that are like, man, I support you. He says the John Cena sucks jack-offs have already proven themselves. But let's go back to the other people. The Let's Go Cena people. What have you ever done for me? You steal my moments, my time. You've made me the butt of a stupid invisible joke for 25 years. It's not funny. He says, you are pathetic. You don't wear this for support. You wear it to make yourself feel good. You wear words, hustle, loyalty, respect. I live them every day. You could never, he says, you think you can buy never give up? I'm the definition of never give up. I am the definition of perseverance, and everyone here knows it. He says, you use me as an excuse for your pathetic lives, and all you've ever done is sit there on your ass and watch me be great. He says, everyone here is a toxic relationship, and I'm breaking up with you. You're dumped. You all mean nothing to me, and you all know I'm right, and you are wrong. Standing O for the fucking GOAT.
Oh, man.
This was the explanation of a lifetime. John Cena, WWE could have very well took the easy route and had John Cena drop his mic and leave to do the heel thing. They didn't do that. You want to know why? Because they care, and John Cena cares, and John Cena is the fucking GOAT again, and he has his finger on the pulse, and he has a connection with the audience, and that is why we got the right outcome, the outcome that is the full explanation, because I've seen a lot of people saying, man, it would be awesome if you came out there and dropped the mic. No, it wouldn't have. No, it wouldn't have. Yeah, you already made us fucking wait 2 Monday Night Raws past the Elimination Chamber and 2 SmackDowns. It's time for the explanation. And if you think that, then I truly have no idea what to tell you, because that would have been a horrible idea. John Cena's the GOAT, and I think this year he's going to solidify and stamp that into the stamp his name into the concretes of the WWE Mount Rushmore, man. He's fucking goated, dude. Everything this guy does, from again having his finger on the pulse to what the fans need, being in touch with the audience, being in touch with his character, it's fucking golden. And this here proves it. John Cena is the greatest of all time. This was fucking tremendous, man. What did you think about this? Were you satisfied with the explanation we got, man? And just from the Cena part of the promo, how are you feeling? And what was your reaction as you were watching this?
I absolutely loved it, man. The second he came out, with the same entrance music, the same gear, overall the same everything, and that's when it kind of clicked for me of like, oh, he is going to wear all the same things because, I mean, why not? I mean, it's more like a chore to wear that whole, attire, because I remember he said, back when he announced his retirement, that when he retires, he's giving up the jorts, he's giving up the fucking armbands, So when he came out with all that stuff, I was excited. I thought like, wow, this is, and dude, the whole promo was just so perfect, dude. I loved the explanation. I think it did really fucking great, and I think it makes all the sense in the world, dude. I liked what they did with his character. How he's fed up, dude. He's fed up of being a mask, a face. He's had a puppet, and he's just gonna be himself, man. He's not a heel. He's not a baby face. He's himself, and himself is sick and tired of all this, and he's tired of playing somebody, and he's gonna be himself. And I like it. He basically vented out. This was a promo venting out his frustrations from the last fucking 20 years of his career, man. And I love it, dude. I think it did really well. I think he did phenomenally. The crowd work was incredible, dude. I liked everything about it, dude. I liked his reasonings. I liked, his mentality of his heel character mentality. I like all the little things he's implementing into his heel character. That's, the hustle, loyalty, respect. He didn't just, reverse it, people are, posting him with a shirt, hate this. He could have done that, but he didn't. That's a value he still lives by, and he's going to live by it the way he believes he's gonna live by it, man, and I like that a lot. They're taking the same babyface John Cena, but flipping it, and it's basically like a mirror of himself, and I love it, dude. I really like what they did here, man. I'm very excited to see how this continues, and this, what we got tonight, just makes me so excited for all the more interactions we're gonna get with Cody, the eventual ones with Punk, and all the others in between, dude. I can't fucking wait, dude. This is gonna be incredible, man.
Man, when he said, I want to talk about you people wearing my shirts, I said to myself, how could he spin this, right? How is he going to spin this against those people? And then when he did what he did, I was just like, this guy is a fucking genius, man. Like that is like everything in here was just such a perfect explanation down to a T of why he did what he did. And
but he's right when he announced his retirement. Oh, I wonder what matches we're gonna get. I wonder what this city's gonna get for this shirt. And she was right.
We've literally been saying that. I wonder what the Chicago farewell shirt's gonna look like. So
and he's right. It's all about what we get out of him. I like that, dude.
It's fucking perfect. It is fucking perfect, dude. It is amazing. This man is the GOAT. Nobody can tell me shit. And good Lord. Yeah, this was a tremendous explanation, man. Talking about how, again, all we do is steal his moments. We steal his time. We steal, people, constantly make that, John Cena, you can't see me joke and all that type of stuff, man. And again, going back to the merch and, he says, I want to talk about the people that wear these shirts, and again, I'm sitting there like, I wonder what he's going to say about the people that still support him. And then he said that, you wear words like hustle, loyalty, respect. I live them. You wear this to make yourself feel good, not because you represent any of it. He talked about how, you buy a shirt that says never give up. I never give up, and it's obviously hypocritical in a heel way, but it's amazing because in a way he also didn't give up. He sold his soul because he didn't want to give up, but in the same
was going to give up.
Yeah, but in the same sentence, selling your soul was giving up, but obviously that's the delusion of a heel John Cena.
That's kind of the whole point.
Exactly.
Yeah. There has to be some level of delusion to a heel.
100%. And that's what made it so perfect. That's what made it so perfect, because he's sitting there telling you, I never gave up. I'm still going after my dreams, but that's the delusion in him, is you sold your soul because you gave up. So it's tremendous. And I mean, John has, however long we get this heel John Cena run, this guy has so many people that have wronged him as a heel while he was a babyface. So many audiences, One Night Stand, ECW, The crowd in 2012 when he got hurt and they cheered him. All these different scenarios are going to come back to bite the fans in the ass because they treated him like shit for so many years, and he's done. He's done with it, and he's getting 17 for himself because he's got the other fucking 16 for everybody in the audience. And again, like you were saying, it's just the, take. This farewell tour wasn't about me. It was all about, what are you guys going to get? Where are they going to go? What is he coming to my town? What's the merch? What's the merch going to look like? And all this different stuff. And it's just such a fucking perfect explanation. And this is how John has wanted this for years. John has wanted this for years, and he's now finally getting it. And this fucking came off tremendous to me, man. This absolutely came off incredible to me. Man, crazy. Love it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that was that. Listen, Bill, you could say whatever you want about the American audience. You can never say the Chicago crowd is ungrateful.
Exactly. We're a good crowd. You get a couple good crowds. It's only when they go to those nothing towns and cities that they get the people that sit on their hands and feet the whole show.
Very true. Let's see. Hunter says, is John winning at Mania? Cena has to win. Cena has to win. If he does not win everything, I don't think Cody will become irrelevant. I think that would make Cody look better.
Oh yeah, and look what a loss did for Rhea Ripley. It made her even better building up to this Mania. That's going to be Cody's post Mania is even better after the loss.
I will take you back many years. I will take you back 7 years. Johnny Gargano was the most popular and beloved superstar in NXT, probably of all time. And he held the NXT championship for about 30 days. In that whole, 4-year NXT run that he had? He held the NXT championship for 30 days, and he was still the most beloved, again, probably the most beloved babyface in NXT history. So, Cody has the story, everybody knows his story, and, everybody's behind him. He's John Cena. Whether you like it or not, he's going to be the John Cena for many years to come. And the people love him, and they're going to capitalize on that. And no, Cody will not become irrelevant. No. You should not have to have that on the brain at all. Cody's still going to be WWE's top babyface through and through. John Cena did break up with us, man, but it was probably the sickest breakup ever. So
exactly.
Cody then finally comes out and he says, I think everyone was willing to hear you out, even myself. He says, and if I understand correctly, you think they've given you the worst? Well, they have also given you their best because you were special and because you could take it and because you could carry it. John walks up to Cody and he says, listen, kid. Cody screams, enough. He says, it's certainly not kid, it's WWE champion. And let me ask you, sir, who the hell are you? Oh.
Right.
Where's the guy on that shirt? Oh, dude. Oh, we'll get to that. Man. He says, where's the guy on that shirt? He says, I was excited to go week to week, face to face with John Cena. And instead I got this. He says, well, this better not show up at WrestleMania, because if it does, I will run it over and I will run it out. And you will retire early. So go find John Cena. I want to wrestle him at WrestleMania and not this whiny bitch. The way John Cena's face was stone-faced, no emotion, as he was watching Cody Rhodes walk away. Come on with it, bro. Oh,
Insane.
dude, when he made that face, I'm not gonna lie, I thought Rock's music was about to hit just because we haven't seen that face since Elimination Chamber. And the last time he made that face, he was looking at the final boss. The way he stood there, arms just draped down to his side, not moving a muscle, with that,
Motionless.
yes, just with that stone look on his face. And I either thought Rock was about to come out, or as Cody turned his back and went to walk away, he was gonna fucking destroy him, because he just had that look, but instead he did nothing. He just stood there and decided to just watch Cody walk away. As this was great, man. This was absolutely great. This was everything we needed. And Cody, I think, is going to want to wrestle John Cena so bad, he's going to underestimate the fact that this is not John Cena anymore.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna be the killer. I think, like you said, he wants, to experience Cena. So by the Cena he wants to experience, he's gonna try to, talk it into him, talk it into Cena to be, that Cena. I don't think it's gonna work, and I think Cody's gonna underestimate this new version of John Cena.
For sure, bro. That was the opening segment to Monday Night Raw. That was easily the best part about the show. I mean,
yeah.
what else on the show was topping that, bro? So
no, you can't top that at the end of the day.
yeah.
The rest of the show, I don't think they did a good job of trying to, but overall, dude, obviously was going to be the highlight of the night no matter what. I mean, it was insane, and it leaves me wanting more, man, and that's exactly what you want.
Yes, I can't wait, and they already promoted it next week in Glasgow for next week. So, man, amazing segment. So I gotta tip my cap to John Cena. That was incredible. That was fucking incredible, man.
It really was, dude. I loved it.
So, Corey Graves has managed to get out of the doghouse, and he
squashed the beef.
Yes, he squashed the beef, and he is on Monday Night Raw commentary tonight with Michael Cole, because Pat McAfee was in the States fulfilling his ESPN stuff. So, wow, this was awesome. This was fucking awesome, man. I love this.
I did. I really like seeing him again.
Absolutely. I love hearing him and Michael Cole. They're fantastic together, and yeah, awesome to see Corey back. So I'm happy about that.
Most definitely.
Penta versus Ludwig Kaiser in a no-holds-barred match. Well, Brussels was about as annoying here as the U.S. audience with their "We Want Tables" chant. They were great for every other chant except for that one. No.
Hey, wrestling fans just can't stop it with that shit.
So, I guess they wanted tables. They didn't even end up getting tables. They got a move on the announce table, which thank God that didn't break. I am about tired of that spot. So Penta defeats Ludwig Kaiser here with a Mexican destroyer on the chair and a Penta driver to seal the deal for Ludwig and put Penta over, man. So Penta on his way, what was Penta's chant he was getting? Oh, it was the ole, 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 cero miedo. That was his chant, and that was pretty fucking fire. Penta was vibing the fuck out with that chant. He's hilarious,
he really
dude.
Was. That man is great.
So he's going up the ramp, and Kathy asks him what's next. He thanks the fans of Brussels, and he says, "What is next for Penta?" is the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh yeah, dude.
Very interesting, man, as this would come into play later in the night. It would actually also come into play next, because we get a Judgment Day backstage, and Finn, he's happy as fuck. He comes in, he's smiling. He's cheesing his ass off. He fucking looks like Sir Kay on a Friday night at about 7 p.m. And he's cheesing his ass off, man. And
this one.
He's hugging everybody. And then Dominic comes in. He's, you know, again, just happy, thankful. He's loving his group. Dominic comes in and he says, "Look, man, you know, ever since JD went out, you know, we need more backup. So I have an idea for somebody I want to join the Judgment Day." Finn immediately is like, "Who is it?" Dominic says, "What about Penta?" Finn's whole demeanor changed, and he says, "Penta? Really? The guy that just challenged for the Intercontinental Championship that I'm going for?" He says, "You know, Dom, you're a snake." And he walks away. He walks away, man, as Carlito, Dom turns around, he looks at Carlito. Carlito goes, "Dude, have you not watched the show?" And you would fucking think Dominic was talking about AEW. He goes, No, I haven't watched the show."
That's fucking me every Wednesday night, bro.
That's me on a fucking Saturday at fucking 9 o'clock. "Hey, man, did you watch Collision?" No. I haven't watched it.
What I look like.
Ask me that on a Thursday. Did you watch this week's ROH tapings? No.
God, no.
Still haven't. I never have.
Never will.
So this was the Judgment Day segment, man, and this was very, very good. They were in a amazing. They had, I don't know, dude. I was just gonna go ahead, bro. I'm sure you were going the same way I was.
That whole night, dude. The whole backstage area of that arena is the sickest thing ever. Everything, every wall, and every part of that arena backstage is covered in sick-ass graffiti, dude. That whole backstage looked so sick the whole night. It was super dope.
Yes, that was, I don't know what arena that was. Let's see. Doesn't say. Hold on. They were in the Vorst National. The Forest National in Brussels, Belgium. I guess that's the name. Yes, that arena is the Forest National Arena in Brussels. So that arena, dude, the whole night is it's like the whole backstage area is tagged in graffiti. I would not be shocked if that was the reason WWE even went to that arena for a Monday Night Raw, just because of the possibility of just the backstage, you know, shots that they got. And it was fucking sick. It looked like something out of a Mobb Deep music video. It was tremendous. I loved it.
100%. That looks incredible.
So we get Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile. This was one of the things that made me tilt my head while I was watching the show. Dakota beats Ivy with a GTK as the LWO attacked the Creed brothers and they chased off Chad Gable. So obviously something with this happens a little bit later in the night, but yeah, this was kind of a nothing match. They just did this match a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
So okay,
don't get the point of a repeat match on a stage like this, but okay.
definitely. So next up, we get this contract signing with Io Sky. We get this contract signing with Io Sky and Bianca Belair for their Mania match. They both get out there, and Io says no one will disrespect her again. She says because she is the women's champion, and after WrestleMania, she will still be the women's world champion. Crowd is hot for Io. Crowd's very hot for Io. Bianca then says she has all the respect in the world for Io, but if you think you're going to put your hands on me and I'm not going to do anything about it, you must not know me. They both sign the contract. Adam Pearce says, "Thank you, ladies, so much for being professional." As soon as he says that, Rhea Ripley's music hit. Rhea comes out there, and Bianca is saying, what are you doing out here? Rhea says, well, Io slapped me last week, and I'm just not going to do anything about it like you, Bianca. She said, I'm going to take a page out of your book, and I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to simply watch. Bianca and Rhea start arguing again. Io then walks up to get in their face. Bianca says, "Not right now, Io." She muffs her in the face again, and Io, and a whole brawl breaks out. Bianca gets headbutted onto the table that was used for the contract signing. Io then goes to attack Rhea, and Rhea power bombs Io Sky onto Bianca Belair on the table. That did not break, so Io just got crucified over Bianca's body, and Adam Pearce is still standing there, pissed off, but he dropped the contract. It's on the ground. Rhea Ripley grabs the contract, signs her name, and walks away with the contract. This is a really good segment, man. This is a really good segment. I like this. And obviously, they're saying, you can't just sign your name and be in the match. But you obviously know this is where that is where this is going. Rhea signed her name because she's getting herself in that match. And, sooner or later, I'm sure it will be announced. But I like the story WWE is telling of I like the story they're telling of Rhea Ripley being so pissed and doing anything to really get herself in this match with Bianca and Io. So, yeah.
100%. I really liked the segment. I liked the whole aspect it had. I like just the beef that Rhea and Bianca have and how annoyed Io is because of it. I like that dynamic they have in this match they're building up, man. And I like how she, wrote her name in the contract and, it's kind of, trying to force herself in the match. And then, people, you can't just do that. That's stupid. That's not how she's getting added to the match, people. She's going to constantly put herself in this situation so management finally officially puts her in the match. That's what this is doing. That's what the whole goal to this is. And it's working. I think it's really good. And I really like what they're doing here, man.
Yeah. And, it might not even be, managed. Well, obviously management's going to have to put her in the match, but this is obviously going to get to a boiling point where I think Io, just says, look, both of you guys are fucking undermining the fuck out of me. How about I take both of you on?
Yeah.
So,
I'm afraid.
So, that was that. And, next up, we get Jey Uso. He's walking through the back, this graffiti-filled arena, and he is cutting a promo. He's talking about how he's doubting himself. And he talks about doubting himself and how he's going to, win the big one at WrestleMania here in a couple weeks and whatnot. He then runs into Gunther. Gunther's coming out of Gorilla. He probably just got done lobbying to Triple H to win the match at WrestleMania 41. But he is, um,
Anyway,
yeah. Gunther then sees Jay and he says, "Hey, I talked to your brother Jimmy on Friday. He's just as stupid as you are." Jay pushes him and he says he'll see him at WrestleMania. Jay runs out there. He's yeeting. He's yeeting everywhere. He's on the top rope, on the announce table, on the barricade, whatever. He's doing his thing. He gets in the ring with Austin Theory and he beats him in about 10 seconds with a spear. And that, I mean, it sucks for Austin Theory, but I'm sort of glad they did that, to be honest, bro, because his match with Grayson Waller last week, I thought was too competitive, bro. I mean, you're going into the main event of WrestleMania. I get you're talking about doubting yourself, but Grayson Waller, I mean, are you really trying to give me the vibe that fucking Jey Uso is on the same level, can barely scrape a victory past Grayson Waller?
That's the thing. I like the idea of him downing himself and him proving himself in the build to WrestleMania, but the opponents they were putting him against, it's like, okay, why are you downing yourself against these people?
Yes.
So it's like, dude, you should be more running through some of these lesser people, quote unquote, instead of if you're facing AJ Styles week by week, okay, you're gonna doubt yourself and shit, and you're gonna have to build yourself up to get some wins, but. Not with Grayson Waller and fucking Austin Theory, man.
You remember when Austin Theory was next up, bro?
He was gonna be the next John Cena. I won't forget that shit. I remember that shit.
Man.
And they killed it. They fucking ultimately killed that shit for some reason. He's not that bad. I don't get it.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. So Jay kicks Grayson after the match, and him and Theory, Waller and Theory are on the outside. Jey Uso does a suicide dive, and instead of his normal one where he comes over the top face first, he decided to flip and did the old flop dollar, where he flips over the top and he fucking smacks his head and his shoulder blades right on the ring apron.
Fucking his pelvis just fucking took the ropes and just went right down, man. What? And even bro, when he ran back in the ring, you could just see it on his face, like the "oof, my bad" look.
Yeah, 100%, 1000%. You could see that look on his face. He was sitting there, and yeah, he's kind of, he's got his teeth together, like he's like, ooh, like whoops. And then he eats and goes off and starts to celebrate. But Gunther comes in with the sleeper hold.
Again.
You said you were going to make his life a living hell. You didn't tell him you were going to do the same fucking thing to him every week.
Yeah, that's not making his life hell. With Jay facing tough opponents, him doubting himself, him finally, finding himself, he's about to get the win. You fuck him over, he doesn't get the win in that match. Boom. That's making his life hell.
Yeah, go
Not
attack
just
Jimmy.
choking him. Yeah, exactly. Go attack Jimmy. Go, like I said, maybe he's about to win a tough ass match. You attack him. You attack his opponent. You cost him the match that he was got to get himself the win for. What are you doing, bro? You're just choking him out every week. It's just annoying.
Well, this week, Jay starts to fight it off, and he manages to rip the title from around Gunther's waist, and he celebrates with it. See what I mean when I said it probably wasn't a good idea to put John Cena and Cody Rhodes on the same show with the other world title program? This looks like less than some of the fucking IC title stuff they were doing with Gunther.
It really does, dude. It really fucking does.
But WWE, I guess, is not going for the build. They're going for the moment, with Jey Uso yeeting with the World Heavyweight Championship as 70,000 people flail their hands up and down. So,
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's all WWE's going for, and it's going to work out for them if that's what they're going for, but good lord, I wish they would be a little bit more fucking creative with the build. However, yeah, so that was that. We then get a women's backstage segment with Rhea Ripley arguing with Adam Pearce, saying, "My name's on the legal document. You have to put me in the match." Adam Pearce says, "No, that's not how that works. You're not in the match." And he says to Rhea Ripley, "Am I talking to a child?" You know, this could be a bit of a callback because if I remember correctly, didn't Charlotte say that to Rhea Ripley after she won the Royal Rumble of,
Oh yeah.
I can't, I'm not gonna go after you because you're still a kid.
Because you're still a kid. She did say that. Said it more robotically, but
Yeah.
she did say that, so that's a cool callback.
It is. It is for sure. I thought that to myself because when he called her a child, I was like, damn, didn't somebody else call her a fucking child not too long ago? And as I thought about it, I was like, oh yeah, it was Charlotte. So I don't know if that's the direction they're going with Rhea Ripley being so hot-headed, she just kind of makes childish decisions. So,
Mm-hmm.
I think that could be the case. So Bianca walks up, starts beating up Rhea Ripley. Io throws Bianca off of Ripley and starts wailing on Ripley herself. Bianca turns Io around and says she's mine, and she pushes Io. At this point, Io's like, really? She's looking at Bianca Belair like, what the fuck? Like, why the hell did you just push me? So she goes after Bianca Belair, and these three just all start brawling, all three of them together. I fully expect either next week or the week after that, we're going to get the official announcement. I personally think it's going to be Io saying, fuck it. I'm tired of both of you. We're just going to, I want both of them.
Oh, definitely. I think it's going to be the EO is going to be like the main factor in actually making it the triple threat.
For sure. Lawn Dog is here. How's it going, dude?
How you doing, man?
So, the LWO, speaking of the other thing we didn't need on the show, the LWO versus the Creed brothers. Dude, what is with Rey Mysterio and the way he fucking racks up pinfalls on people? Why is this man cannot let Dragon Lee get the fucking pinfall victory to save his life.
I don't understand, dude. I really don't. I don't know why the Creeds are even here losing.
That's the other thing. So, the Creed brothers. Man, what are you doing, man? I mean, like, what? Especially with, originally, I thought, okay, maybe WWE's gonna go the route where they do, like, American Made or Chad Gable versus Penta at WrestleMania, and then, maybe they will find some way to put Rey Fenix in that or whatever, being that he's got the whole thing against luchadors. And obviously Penta is going another direction, so what are we doing with Chad Gable for WrestleMania? Or, like, is he gonna fucking fight Rey Mysterio? Is he gonna fight Dragon Lee? Is it gonna be American Made versus LWO? Like, anybody on God's green earth wants to see that? Like, what are we doing? And why must the Creed brothers constantly look like blithering idiots? I mean, I don't get it, man. I genuinely don't.
No, I really don't understand. I really don't know what the direction for any of this really is going to be.
So, Rey wins with a 619 and a frog splash. and afterwards, the mysterious American-made luchador attacks the LWO, Dragon Lee and Ray. He's doing his German suplexes, diving headbutts, running headbutts, so on and so forth. So this was this was that, man, and this again was another, I don't know,
It's
just kind of
scratcher.
part of the show for
Yeah.
me.
Like, why is this on this Raw of all Raws, dude? I don't get it.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, what is the end game here? Are we gonna reveal Chad Gable's? Are they gonna take the mask off of him? Is he even doing anything at WrestleMania? Like, what
Uh,
exactly? Where does this go?
I have no fucking clue where this can go.
Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins comes out for a promo. The crowd is singing his song. He says, the crowd is singing his song, and he says, "It is hard to be mad when your beautiful voices are serenading me." He says he could have taken care of the CM Punk problem if it was not for Roman Reigns. He says both of these guys will be in Italy on Friday. And he thought, he says he thought to himself, why should he let them have all the fun? He says, this isn't about Friday, this is about Monday, and I'll let you guys sing my song so you can get on to the main event, but I will see you two boys on Friday. I don't know what the point of putting this on the show was. Again, if you would have had Rollins come out there looking for both of them, maybe you have Adam Pearce come out and say, dude, I've had a stressful enough night. They're not here, but I can tell you where they will be. They will be at
On Friday.
Yep, they will be at SmackDown on Friday in Bologna, Italy. So and then, kind of have Rollins, I guess just declare or whatever that he did here tonight and just tell him he was going to see them there. Yeah, just kind of seemed just really filler. So I'm the real meat and potatoes of this whole thing. I'm almost certain we'll see on Friday. So.
Most definitely, it really was just filler, and the way American audiences see this show can be so annoying sometimes because throughout parts of his promo, the crowd was kind of like late to chanting stuff because I'm sure they were tired from singing his song for 3 minutes straight during a commercial, just a needless commercial break, dude. And that's the shit that just really kills me about the way they do Netflix with the commercials, dude. Why are you making them just have Seth Rollins stand out there for 3 minutes for no reason when you don't have to do commercials? You just do them. I don't. I think it's really a detriment to the show sometimes, dude.
And also too, what was up with that the Penta match? Dude, we got like 3 different ad breaks in that match.
Commercials tonight were crazy, dude. I felt like it was commercial after video package after commercial, then a video, then an entrance. Literally, we went through like 2 commercial breaks. Jey Uso came out, did what he did for fucking 30 seconds. That whole thing happened. Boom, right into another commercial. I was like, dude, god damn.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. I get it. I thought that uh really, really, really heavy when we were watching the Penta match, because it's like, dude, and like
Yeah,
every time something started to happen, oh, here's another 3-minute ad break. It's just like, what the fuck? You just did
god
an ad
damn,
break.
dude.
Yeah.
Literally.
Kind of annoying, bro. Kind of annoying. And again, it's just it's done out of just pure greed. Like you said, they do not
Exactly.
have to do those, yet they do because they know wrestling fans are accustomed to it. Um and I don't know,
It's
dude.
just stupid, dude.
I don't know. Um May have to look into getting some sort of a VPN, if you could get them on a Fire Stick or a Roku stick. I don't know if you can,
Literally.
because that is just fucking annoying, dude.
It really is, dude. And we miss out on whole segments sometimes, dude.
Yeah,
It can be
yep.
frustrating.
The first tease to a Mania match between Logan Paul and AJ Styles was something the American audience could not see. Like,
Literally just didn't see live. Like, bro, what?
so that was that. AJ Styles is in the back and he starts to talk, but then he says, "Hold on, Kathy. You hear that?" As they are doing his he is phenomenal la 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 chant in Brussels, Belgium. AJ fucking Styles, bro. Man's over. What can I
Goated.
say?
I'm truly a goated man.
He absolutely is. He absolutely is, bro. So, AJ says, "Yes, I do have a problem with Logan Paul because he does not belong on this roster." He then notices Karrion Kross walk up to him and he says, I don't want to hear it right now. And Kross says, "Okay, well, if you don't want to hear another perspective, I'll just leave." And AJ grabs his arm and he says, "Okay, let's hear it." What is with these two, man? The one week
They got a
AJ's
real
pulling him by his arms and, "No, come back." The week before this, Kross is hugging him from behind. The fuck is going on here, man?
might be boys, bro. They might. I guess they're boys. Who knows what they're doing?
I fucking guess, dude. They must be. Well, Kross says, "Are you mad at Logan Paul or are you mad at yourself? Are you mad at yourself because Logan has done everything in 3 years that you wanted to do since you were a child, since you were in this business for, what, 16 years before you came to WWE?" And AJ puts his hand in his face and he says, "17. And he says, "Okay, 17 in record time." AJ says, "Whatever you're trying to do, it's not working." Kross, and AJ walks away. Kross is sitting there looking devious, and he giggles and he says, "I think it is." Fucking psychopath.
Weirdo, dude.
Fucking Kross. No, this is great, man. I like this segment a lot, and I always like, you know, except, you know, these weird vibes of, you know, Karrion Kross, you know, being AJ Styles slime. You know, I mean, there's the stuff between these two is great, man. Just no more hugging AJ from behind, please.
Yeah, one little less of that, man. But overall, like the interactions they've been having, and I like what they're setting up for AJ, man. Although he kind of got the Russian roulette of WrestleMania with the Logan Paul match. I think they're making the best out of it by it barely even being. It's more about AJ and his history more than it is about Logan Paul, and I think that's the best way you could go about this match.
For sure. Um, You know, I know a lot of people, man. You know, I know a lot of people, and, you know, like you were saying, poor AJ got the Russian roulette of the Logan Paul match, man. I know a lot of people are like, you know, not really, you know, too upset by this, man. But I gotta admit, considering what AJ Styles said in an interview just a couple weeks ago, this man's got about like 2, 3 WrestleManias left, I think. 3 if you count this year. 2 after this year. And this is
Is
what
what
you're
you
doing
spend
with
it
him?
on?
His last fucking
Logan
3
Paul.
WrestleManias? I'm sorry, but
Okay.
Logan Paul, and again, if AJ Styles had a fucking good match with Shane McMahon, I know he's gonna tear the house down with Logan, but it's Logan Paul, bruh.
It's like, oh man.
So I don't know. I don't know. It's just it just kind of sucks being that, you know, we know what we know, and AJ does not want to wrestle a day over 50. So,
Hmm.
you know, it just is kind of like, ugh, like what the fuck, man? I don't know. So, um, regardless, we get the main event. Braun Breaker versus Finn Balor. Dominic and Carlito, they come out to help Finn, and Finn actually starts to pick up some offense for himself. Yeah, he takes out, or Braun takes out the Judgment Day, so that allows Finn to capitalize off that. He goes on the top rope to hit the coup de grace and win the Intercontinental Championship, but Braun quickly makes it to his feet. Dominic hops on the top rope, and when he tugs on the top rope to stand up on the apron, Finn falls off the top rope and onto the turnbuckle on accident. Breaker then takes out Dom, hits a Breakensteiner on Balor, hits a spear on Balor, and retains the Intercontinental Championship in a move that at this point, dude, it was about like 4:22. And I was like, oh my God, are they finally going to fucking kick Finn out of the Judgment Day? I thought like maybe this is finally the time. And then obviously we ended up figuring out what the last 8 minutes was for. It was because Dom attacked. Well, first of all, I thought this main event was going to happen like an hour prior to this, because at like maybe at about like 3:20, an hour into the show, the fucking commentary team is like, and up next, our main event. And I'm like,
what?
I'm like, do not tell me their first televised event in Brussels is going to be a fucking hour and 40 minute episode of Monday Night Raw. What the fuck is that? And obviously, I'm assuming commentary made a huge fuck up.
Because after he said that, they just played the video package for the main event. So I think that's what they were supposed to say. But they said it as the main event is up next. And it was not. Good Lord.
Yeah, and then when they come back from the video package, they're like, and this is our main event later on tonight. I'm like, dude, you just said up next. All right. Okay. Whatever. But, so he spears Finn. You know, Finn loses the match. Braun retains as, again, there's like 8 minutes left in the show. So I'm like, dude, please tell me they're finally going to fucking get Balor out of the Judgment Day, right? And Dominic attacks Braun. So Penta comes out, and obviously the ship has sailed on the inevitable Judgment Day turn, at least for this week. And Penta comes out to save Breaker. He comes out to save him, and he wipes out the Judgment Day with Braun. Braun holds up the championship. Penta actually grabs the championship. He hands it to Breaker, and then Breaker holds up the title. Penta does the Cero Miedo, and then that's how the show went off the air with that. So it was a good main event. And obviously building to what I'm assuming is going to be your one-on-one WrestleMania match. So it looks like we are not getting that Monday Night Raw IC ladder match, which I could see them giving that ladder match to SmackDown, because Triple H, you know, he's done a very poor job with both of the titles as of late, but he does value the IC title more over the US title. So I could see him giving the US title the multi-man match and giving the IC title more of a one-on-one scenario. So yeah.
That was definitely, man. I
was just gonna say that was that. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Definitely, man. I like the main event. I thought it was really good. And I like what happened in the end, man. I loved that interaction with Penta. You know, like Penta kind of held the title up between them, gave it to Braun. Braun did the same thing. I like what they set up there. And boy, do I hope Finn Balor gets turned on next week or something. I need it to end now, dude. Please.
And I honestly think the best shot you have of a great reaction for that Judgment Day turn is at one of these overseas shows. So,
Most definitely, dude. Most definitely. That reaction could be great.
Yeah, I mean, if this very show happened in Lafayette, Louisiana, it would not have been as good as it was.
Oh God, no.
The atmosphere completely took this show up a couple notches
Right.
for sure.
Most definitely.
Um, but yeah, man, I mean, it was a decent episode of Monday Night Raw, man. Like I said, there was just a couple things on the show that, I wouldn't have put on there, or I kind of just thought, this is what you're putting on the show. And it just kind of
Yeah.
felt, and it's not even a thing of being overseas, man. It's just, we, we got, we got about a month to go. We got about a month to go till WrestleMania, man. I want to see, I want to see you. I want to see your heaviest hitters on the show. I want to see your most intriguing stuff, not a fucking rematch between Dakota Kai and Ivy Nile.
Exactly. I don't want to see the Creed brothers just taking another pin to fucking Rey Mysterio for no reason. Like, why was this on this show?
We have an IC title match next week. You didn't think to put those two women on the show to build that a little bit? No, let's put Dakota Kai and Ivy Nile. Again, and then you just announce, Lyra is going to be defending the title against Raquel Rodriguez next week. It's just like, okay, thanks. No fucking promo, no nothing. At least that we didn't see.
Yeah, I mean, there might have been. I might have not seen it, but like nothing.
Yeah.
To show of it.
The most I remember was Finn just telling her in the back, hey, I'm excited for your title match next week. Hope you win. It's like, okay, but where is the fucking IC champion?
Where is she? Can we see her? Not in a match, like just hanging around. Can we interact with her or something?
How the fuck you go from being projected for a match with Becky Lynch at WrestleMania to not even being on the show a week before your title match against Raquel Rodriguez is fucking criminal.
Truly criminal.
So I don't know, man, but yeah, and then other than that, again, we got another unnecessary LWO American made match. Good God. So some of those things, like I said, were at a detriment to the show. I like the Braun and Finn. I like the Braun and Finn stuff. I thought that was good. Everything that the women in the women's triple threat did was good. Jay and Gunther was repetitive. And the obvious star of the show was John Cena and Cody Rhodes and everything they did. But other than that, man, that was basically about everything for this episode of Unscripted, man, as we are done with Unscripted, and on any normal week, we would have been 40 minutes into Monday Night Raw. So that is weird. Hunter, I completely disagree with you, man. I think Jimmy is going to be the new U.S. tag champ at WrestleMania.
Exactly.
He's not the U.S. champ. He's going to be the new United States tag team champion at WrestleMania. Just Jimmy.
Or Jimmy Uso.
Yep. As he will do the family a fucking favor and win the U.S. tag titles. So, regardless of that, again, one more time before we leave, man. Every Friday, I know you guys are used to us at 4 p.m. Central. We got a new start time for the Friday show. Again, tired of bleeding into SmackDown, and we just want to make it a little more to where we do not have to bleed into Friday Night SmackDown, and we can all enjoy the show at 7 o'clock rather than being minutes late. So, new start time, 3 p.m. Central every Friday rather than 4. So, there you go. Playing it for you guys one more time. Also, man, just so you guys probably be playing it for a minute, here are your U.S. start times and your unscripted start times for the next 3 weeks. Obviously, 3/17 is done now, so now we're moving on to the Glasgow show. So take your screenshots, do what you got to do, and yeah, we will see you guys here next week at about 5:30, 6 p.m.-ish, whatever time Monday Night Raw goes off the air next week in Glasgow. So yeah, that is that, and that is everything we have here today for you guys, man. Thank you guys so very much for joining us on this edition of Unscripted. As always, it has been a pleasure for my Johnny.
And I, Sir K.
And that is going to do it for this edition of Unscripted, the first early Unscripted. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you all on Friday at 3 p.m. Central with the news.
Peace.